Flesh on my tongue, iron in my lungs, blood on the snow, name on their shields, night in my veins, storm in my ears, wolves trace our steps, God's count our kills. You are waiting for Valhalla, I can hear it in your roar. Every scar a burning banner, every heartbeat keeps the door. You are waiting for Valhalla as the crows begin to call. If I fall in thunder. You are waiting for Valhalla. Frost on the oars, wraith like white smoke, eyes on the shore, fire in the dark, oath on my tongue, salt on my cloak. If this is the end, let it leave a mark. You are waiting for Valhalla, I can hear it in your roar. Every scar a burning banner, every heartbeat keeps the door. You are waiting for Valhalla as the crows begin to call. If I fall in thunder. You are waiting for Valhalla. If I do not see the morning, carry my name in your mouth. Raise up the horn, pour the glory, let my children hear the shout. Hey! You are waiting for Valhalla, I can hear it in your roar. Hey! Every scar a burning banner, every heartbeat keeps the door. You are waiting for Valhalla as the crows begin to call. If we fall in thunder. You are waiting for Valhalla.
Welcome everyone to another Tuesday night political current event live stream. We have a lot to talk about on tonight's show, I can tell you that. How is everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I know we were not here on Friday, so sorry about that, but we had to go get our new kitty. There will be no kitty reveal tonight. Mochi is the new kitty, and she's only... Audio's clipping. How's audio? Is it clipping for everyone or just him? Let me know. We'll make sure it's good before we get kicking off. How's audio? Somebody give me a little crackle on your mic. All right, hold on. One sec. I'm gonna have to restart. It's a little clippy. All right, let me restart this real quick. Just workaround I'm having to deal with right here. Okay. Holy shit, we did it. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going. My God. The browser that I run my software off of just decided it literally wouldn't open. Everything else would open. Well, we're good. We're here. We made it. Thank God. All right. We had a... Jesus. I don't know what the hell that was. Never had that error before. All right, we did it. We're back. Now we're cooking. All right. How's everybody doing? How was everybody's week? You have a good week. There's a lot to talk about tonight. Obviously, we're going to be talking about, it's been a rough week for Donald Trump in the courts. There's about 5 or 6 different things where he got brutally destroyed in by the Supreme Court and other high-level courts. Talk about that. We're going to talk about the economy. We're going to talk about all the usual stuff. Got a couple new segments of the show this week, but should be good. All right. Okay. Let's jump into it. Let's get started, huh? All right. We're going to first start. If you haven't seen my video I put out today about the Daily Wire, talking about people having a bad week. The Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro. Oh my God, absolutely terrible week. If you guys, we're gonna move through this segment pretty quick because many of you probably already seen the video. If you haven't seen the video, make sure you go check it out. It's a video I put out today. But let's look at this, guys. If you don't know who this kid is, this is the Daily Wire's new hire. They decided to hire some 19-year-old kid to, I don't know, compete with Nick Fuentes. If that's the goal. I don't know what the Daily Wire is really trying to do here. Well, it turns out the kid they hired, they didn't do a very good background check on him because Matt Nuclear is his stage name. Well, it turns out that he was arrested in 2022 for threatening to shoot up a daycare. Yes, he was arrested for threatening to shoot up a bunch of toddlers. So that's a little whoopsie by Ben Shapiro in the Daily Wire this week. But it's also not surprising. I mean, if you think about Zionists, they love to, unalive toddlers. So that's nothing new. But this is a good rundown of the whole story. And that way we don't have to spend too much time on this story. But from a creator called Postman10, he's new. Great breakdown of the entire thing. All right, so let's check this out.
Newest goy slave just got exposed for trying to shoot up a daycare. For those not in the know, Matt Nuclear is the Daily Wire's newest acorn-headed Israeli shill. Matt Nuclear didn't gain significant prominence until he started doing Jubilee debates. On these Jubilee debates, he would defend conservative and Zionist positions against certain left-wing talking heads.
You actually want foreign money influencing our election. Well, so AIPAC is not foreign money.
But he didn't gain the ire of X until he was signed on by the Daily Wire and started posting daily about his undying support for Israel. From this point, he got into a debate with Beardson Beardley. Bad move. And in this debate, he leaked his embarrassing grok chats. Those grok chats would mostly just be embarrassing, like him asking if he's successful for a 19-year-old or whether or not Ben Shapiro would like him. And he tried using grok to negotiate his extremely and unsurprisingly Jewish contract from the Daily Wire, where he would make pennies on the dollar. Now, it wouldn't be until recently that the true skeletons inside of Matt Nuclear's closet would allegedly be revealed. X-Snoops then discovered a news article reporting on a 15-year-old threatening a daycare center in San Marco. The teen's mother gave an interview.
Cities. You can't see your son making a threat of violence.
No, never, never.
That Paulino's son.
Matt Nuclear at the time was 15 years old living in San Marco, and the mother that was quoted in that interview was connected to Matt Nuclear's past social media accounts using Grok Deep Research. Now, of course, none of this is truly confirmed, but it does look pretty damning for Matt Nuclear, and it's not really helping his case that his X account has remained buried since the allegations have been released.
Little whoopsie. Just a little whoopsie. I don't understand. Keep in mind, right? The Daily Wire is trying to go public, which is the silliest thing I've ever seen in my life. Have no idea who would ever invest in this company as they're burning in so bad. But it says here, Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire, which has been losing subscribers across all its social media platforms, is reportedly seeking a $100 million IPO, which means they have to raise $100 million to go public. Okay, at a $2 billion valuation, that means that they think their company is worth $2 billion. Yeah, I guess that makes my podcast worth about $7 billion. I didn't know that. So whoever is buying podcasts, I am willing to sell my podcast for $7 billion because that's about, what it's worth compared to Ben Shapiro's YouTube channel. Now, the other thing that's a little bit wild about this is we're talking about a company that's supposedly worth $2 billion, hundreds of employees, and you guys couldn't, and you're a social media company, and you couldn't do a simple background check? Not a simple background check. That is Ouch. I mean, if you just shows you how poorly that company is run. But yeah, not great for little Benny. And yeah, he's not been doing well. Not been doing well. His YouTube channel is utterly dead. You want to see his YouTube channel real quick? See how old Benny Boy's doing? And again, let's check this out. 7 million subscribers. Oh my God, 7 million subscribers. That's more than Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, by the way. So you'd expect millions and millions of views per video. Let's see how Benny's doing here. All right. 28,000. Oh, 16,000 after a day. Oh, 28,000, 70,000. Whoa, he broke 100K. Congrats to Ben on that. 79,000. Rough times for little Benny, huh? Rough times for little Benny. I don't even know how that's possible. I don't know how it's possible to have a YouTube channel with 7 million subscribers and be doing 20,000 views a video. It's almost impossible. Like legitimately, it's almost impossible. But anyway, so let's jump into the next part of the show. Actually, we had some super chats that arrived before we even started. So let's hit those real quick. Then we'll jump into talking about the Supreme Court, the courts. Uncle BB is here, friend of the show, and says, God bless Israel. And yes, that's a great way to start the show. God bless the state of Israel, the government of Israel, and Uncle Benjamin Netanyahu. We absolutely love Israel. Israel is the greatest country in the world. And that's going to be important as we move forward throughout the show, right? So let's get those flags in the chat. Let everybody know that we absolutely love Zionism, Israel, and Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay. Yes, Bobby says, BB, friend of the show, has arrived. Thank God. All right. Rye Guy, what's up, brother? Says, Nate, in case you don't make it back, thanks for all the good times. Now, we got back. Bots in the house, desperate Fs. If not a bot, fuck off. Everyone knows in the comments what I'm talking about. We got lots of bots here, Jan. We got lots of bots here. That's okay. They like to come and hate watch. Not a big deal. Megadeth. Wilhelm says, hey, Nate, I'm Shia too, and I want to lay down my life for you and all the goyim around the world. Free the cattle. Now, can you cook like Nick Fuentes cooked? And thank the supreme leader. I mean, the realistic part of this is, yes, Shia Islam is literally standing up to our greatest ally. They're the only ones doing it. And so actually, Iran is legitimately fighting on behalf of all goyim. I mean, it's kind of shitty to say because you think America would be the country that would be doing that, but we're not. We're not. Yeah, we can't seem to figure that one out. So, well, I mean, we love everybody here, brother. Thank you, Lisa. No comment. And all right, 2 more, and then we'll get the show cracking here. America's approached the break point, seeing people crashing out everywhere. Yep. Buff like Jesus, 20 gifted memberships. Thank you, homie. Thank you. Last one, Nate loved the poker night. You should organize that more often. P.S. Erica Sadove is guilty. Yeah, we're planning on doing more of those. Those were really fun. All right, let's kick it off. Let's get into the big part of the show. Now, there is about 5 different things that Donald Trump lost on in the courts. There's some nuance to this stuff, all right? So we're going to talk about it, all right? First one was the Supreme Court ruled in on states and mail-in balloting, okay? And Donald Trump and Republicans, of course, were trying to get it to where mail-in ballots could not be counted past the election day, right? Even if they were postmarked on or before election day. If they arrived afterwards, they would not be counted. Now, how do I feel about this? How do we feel about this? Well, there's some context to this. I think that's important. All right. Anyway, 5-4 ruling as in the Supreme Court struck this down, which means, I might turn that light off, which means that the Supreme Court essentially said states' rights trump federal rights. Okay. They said the states have the right to determine these things themselves, which is interesting that Republicans don't want that. Aren't Republicans the states' rights party? Remember Roe v. Wade? The whole reason why we overturned Roe v. Wade was to give it back to the states and let the states decide on that. So Republicans want issues like abortion to be decided by the states, but when it comes to the way states decide to handle their elections, oh, no, the federal government should trump the states' rights there. Tough sell. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of mail-in balloting. I come from Oregon. We've had strictly mail-in balloting forever, since the first time I was able to vote. So I'm not a huge fan of mail-in balloting. However, what you cannot do, if the states are going to have mail-in balloting, what you cannot do is say, oh, well, if the post office didn't get my ballot, even if I postmarked it beforehand and got it off in the mail, if it doesn't get to the polling station by the time they close on election night, my vote doesn't count. So you're just going to disenfranchise just tons of voters in case their ballot didn't arrive in time, even though the states are allowing mail-in balloting to happen. You can't do that. You can't do that. Right? You got to make decisions here. So, I don't know. Somebody said, where's the stream? Are we good? We're still good, right? Yes, Trump actually does vote by mail-in ballot. So, I don't think it matters, really. I mean, is there a possibility for voter fraud with mail-in balloting? Sure, of course. But is it as widespread as they try to make it seem? I don't know, guys. But what you cannot do is disenfranchise voters, okay? Now, so because of this, Donald Trump is now saying we have to get the Save America Act passed. Yes, the Save America Act, which is going to require voter ID, no mail-in balloting. What's the third one? What's the third thing? There's three things in the Save Act. There's one more I'm forgetting. Now, what's the problem? Excuse me. What's the problem with the Save Act? Well, there's two huge problems with the Save Act. Okay, if you're going to require 100% in-person voting with a valid government-issued ID, there's some things you have to do to become constitutional that Republicans are refusing to put in the bill. First one that doesn't necessarily make it, well, it probably would be required constitutionally, is you have to make voting a federal holiday. Voting has to be a federal holiday if you are going to, force in-person same-day election night balloting. Some people can't get off work. Especially, it does disenfranchise poor people who literally are like, I have to be at work today. So election day has to be a federal holiday. Why it's not already makes no sense. Makes no sense, right? Make it a fucking federal holiday. Both sides are happy with that, right? Nobody is going to be upset about not having that as a federal holiday. The second problem, do I think you should have to provide ID to vote? Yes. However, there is a huge, huge problem that Republicans just can't seem to wrap their heads around with the SAVE Act. And that is, well, guess what? If you're going to require me to use a government-issued ID, you cannot force me to pay for that ID because now you have what's called a poll tax. And poll taxes are illegal and unconstitutional in the United States of America. You can't tell me I have to vote in person and I got to bring my ID that I had to pay $100 for at the DMV to vote. That's a poll tax. So you have to do two things. If you want the SAVE Act to pass, and Republicans are refusing to do this because they're fucking retarded, you got to make Election Day a federal holiday. And two, government issue IDs must be free. Driver's licenses must be free. Passports, free. They have to be. Otherwise, you can't fucking require me to use it at the polling station because it's a poll tax. I know this. I don't know why this is so hard for Republicans to wrap their heads around. Like you could do this correctly, and I'm not even saying I disagree with doing it correctly. But you have to follow the Constitution. And this is why the Supreme Court also overrode this, right? Is because it is unconstitutional, because it creates a poll tax. Okay. So again, I'm all for having people show their IDs. I think that should be a requirement, but the IDs got to be fucking free. Sorry. And until you do that, you're never going to make it through the Supreme Court with this stuff. And that's why it won't pass the House and Senate. All right. So anyway, just some things to think about. Now, next, another big ouchie for Donald Trump this week. Yes, the E.G. Carroll rape case. Did you know this? Donald Trump appealed to the Supreme Court to overturn his conviction of R-ing E. Jean Carroll. And how did that go for him? Well, not good, as the Supreme Court turned Donald Trump down and also said that Donald Trump is going to be forced to pay her an additional $5 million now as his appeal falls flat in the Supreme Court. Now, what does the Supreme Court denying this case also essentially say? Because they look at these cases before they take them, right? What this says is the Supreme Court says, sorry, we believe he's a rapist. We're not taking the case. That's what the Supreme Court said about Donald Trump. So, too bad. I mean, it's the way it goes. Keep in mind, this is a conservative majority Supreme Court. It's conservative majority Supreme Court who said, sorry, Donald Trump. Yeah, oh yeah, it is what they said. Because if they believed that Donald Trump was innocent, they would have taken the case, bud. That's how this works. The Supreme Court says this case is not worth our time. That's why they're not even going to take it, let alone vote on it. It's even worse. That's even worse than if they were to take the case. That would then be at least saying this is a case that we need to debate and look at. The entire court looked at this and went, nah, dude. Nah. Sorry, bruh. And not only that, but you got to pay an extra $5 million. Ouch. TDS? Sounds like you got TDS. Sounds like you're a little butthurt. Donald Trump's losing in the courts. Little cuck boy. Little cuck boy. Are you mad? Are you mad your daddy's not having a good week? Oh, little cuck. Little cuck's mad his daddy's having a bad week. All right. Next one they lost on, birthright citizenship. That was the next big one, right? And then you had Stephen Miller. This is another interesting one to talk about. Here was him talking about this. Old Stephen Miller.
Right. Well, just to here, what I said was that this country doesn't have a future if we don't end birthright citizenship. Obviously, the right and correct way to end birthright citizenship is for the Supreme Court to rule what the 14th Amendment clearly and correctly means. But one way or another, this nation has to end birthright citizenship.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, the Supreme Court overturned that. Now, I actually am a little bit disappointed that they turned this one over. Not for the reason you guys think. I'm pretty disappointed that they turned this one over for one specific reason. Marco Rubio, hilariously, would no longer be a citizen, which means Marco Rubio would not be allowed to run for president. Did you know that? Did you know Marco Rubio's parents were illegal immigrants when he was born in America? Did you guys know that? Isn't that interesting? And I mean, you can Google that one yourself. That's not me making things up. Most people know that. A lot of people don't know that, though. So it actually would have been hilarious to watch Marco Rubio lose his citizenship. At the same time, I don't know. Here's birthright citizenship. I actually am not a fan of birthright citizenship. I don't think it's ever made sense. The idea that, because it doesn't apply, no other country has this. For example, let me explain. All you have to do is be born on American soil and you're American citizen. Does that work in any other country? Does that work? I know tons of buddies whose kids were born in Japan when we lived in Okinawa. Did they automatically become citizens of Japan? Fuck no. Japan ain't giving citizenship just because you're born there. China's not. Nobody else is given citizenship just because you were born there. So, for the most part that I know of. So, yeah, I that one never made sense, right, to me. I think your parents need to be citizens for you to be a citizen. Maybe the UK, yeah. Maybe some Europe and America might be the two, but again, it never really made sense that all you got to do is just happen to be born on that soil. Like, keep in mind this. You just have like a French couple that's on vacation and they come here and then they have their kid in the hospital here because the wife's pregnant. Now that kid's an American citizen. Doesn't make sense, right? To me, at least. However, typically the way you're going to have to do it is you're not going to be able to do it retroactively, which means going after people like Marco Rubio. That'll be a clusterfuck to ever figure out. You'd have to have it just as a standalone moving forward policy, right? So from this point on, your parents have to be citizens, something along those lines. at least one parent. One parent needs to be a citizen. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. However, Donald Trump still lost in the Supreme Court with that one. Now, two more. There's more. You might not have known. There's more things of him losing in the courts. Another one. Yes. This came out the day before we started bombing Iran again. And yes, a federal judge is cornering the Department of Justice for covering up files on Trump's 13-year-old accuser in the Epstein files. So that's fucking gross. Obviously, there's a bunch of this in the Epstein files. Those of you who watch my channel, we've already covered all that, but even more on this. So the actual files, keep in mind, we still have the other half of the files out there somewhere that we haven't received. Well, it says here, the Trump administration has been ordered to release unredacted Epstein files by a federal judge. The DOJ has announced it will not comply. Now, again, why would the Department of Justice refuse to comply with releasing the unredacted files when being ordered by a judge? That seems odd, doesn't it? Why wouldn't they want us to see the files? That's so weird. I can't imagine how bad those files are, huh? The fact that the Trump DOJ is just like, absolutely not. There's no way. We don't care if we get sued. We don't care what happens. We are not releasing the other batch of the files. Yikes. So again, a lot of rough, not a single win in the courts for Donald Trump this week, it turns out. How unfortunate. All right, let's jump into what's going on with the economy because, well, it's not much better than what's going on in the courts. So I want to kick this off with a poll from Fox News. It's very important to use Fox News polling because it is the most generous polling that you possibly can have, right, for Donald Trump. This is the home of the Fox News boomer, baby. So this is Trump's performance on the economy by Fox News. His own base, his own MAGA base has a 31% approval on the economy. His own base. I don't know. Could imagine how low this is on CNN or MSNBC polls. It's going to be even lower than that, but absolutely brutal. And how's Trump feel about some of these things? Well, let's take a look. Donald Trump apparently said this: no one gives a shit about housing. Donald Trump, as Americans struggle to afford rent and mortgage payments. So it says, President Trump told Speaker Mike Johnson this week that no one gives a shit about housing, according to 4 sources who heard the speaker recount the conversation. This wouldn't be the first time that Trump has signaled some ambivalence on addressing Americans' housing crisis. So yeah, that's it's not great. It's not great when the president of the United States says he doesn't give a shit about one of the biggest issues that's going on. But here's the thing: when you've got this as your administration, check out this quote from Carolyn Levitt. Congrats to Carolyn Levitt, who's back to work this week, who's coming back hot, as she was quoted as saying, "The unemployment rate under President Trump has fallen to a historic low of 4.3%. Under Joe Biden, it was 3.4%. And that was a dismal economy." Now, if you're confused and you need to read this twice, it makes sense because Carolyn Levitt doesn't know how percentages work. Carolyn Levitt thinks that a 4.3% unemployment rate is better than a 3.4% unemployment rate. Again, that's the press secretary, by the way, who just doesn't even understand what unemployment means. Doesn't even know what the word means, right? Obviously, people being unemployed, the more people are unemployed, it's not good. We like people to have jobs so they don't starve to death. But there you go. She's She's a real winner up there on the stage, huh, ladies and gentlemen? Now, Donald Trump now. This one, I love this one. Doesn't this take us back to the Biden days right here? Remember this? Donald Trump. Remember what Democrats used to say during the Biden administration and COVID when gas was, the same price it is now? What did they say? It's because oil companies are gouging consumers. And then what did Republicans say? That's bullshit. It's the president's fault. Well, look at this. Donald Trump says the big oil companies are not dropping their prices at the pump to commensurate, the pump to commensurate with the sharply lower prices they're paying for oil. Those prices are dropping like a rock. In other words, customers are being gouged. Now, oil prices are not dropping like a rock. Oil futures are going down based off of Trump fucking gaslighting people with his True Social comments. Yes, oil futures and oil prices are not the same thing, by the way. I've instructed the Department of Justice to immediately start looking into this. Also, keep in mind, all the oil executives are all his buddies, so that's kind of odd. Gasoline prices better start going down a lot faster than what I'm seeing. They don't. This is called supply chain shock. When you fuck up a supply chain, right, and oil takes, weeks to a month, 2 months to get to different locations. No, it doesn't work this way, that the second oil comes down, that, prices to gas. No, because that gasoline has already gone through the month-and-a-half process of being dug up out of the oil, sent to the refinery, shipped to the country, sent to your state. You are getting the price of gasoline based off of what it was a month and a half ago of that oil to produce the gasoline. This is how supply chain shock works. So there's not a 1-to-1 ratio of the price of oil goes down a little bit, gas goes down a little bit. No, it has to go through the entire supply chain. The audio's cracking. Is it cracking again? Let me know. I'm about to just swap the mic off here if it's cracking. It could be. Hold on. How's this one? Are we still cracking? Well, let me move. Are we still cracking on this one? Check. This one's cracking too? It's good or not good? The new one's good. New one's good? Okay, hold on. Now we got to actually swap these out real quick. Okay, how about that? Are we good now? If it's the cable, we'll have to swap the cable. I got extra cables too. Is this one good or is it still doing the same thing? Let me know before we move on, because I can swap the cables out. Cable? It says you're good. Audio has been good. All right, who's fucking lying? Because whoever's lying is about to get banned, because all of my regular viewers and all my mods are saying it's fine. Still a little crackle? All right, we're about to start banning people. All right, is it good or not? Now Adam says it's crackling. God damn it. All right, hold on. We got this too. All right. I think we're good now. I think my computer randomly changed my input for whatever fucking reason. Whoever said check your input, that seemed to be what it did. Are we good? That was weird. God, sorry guys. A lot of issues tonight, huh? All right, we're good. All right, good. All right, thank you guys. Sorry about that. Jesus Christ. Tough night tonight for the technology, huh? All right, let's get back to where we were. Who were we talking? Oh, we were talking about oil. All right, actually, now it's going to shock you. We actually have a very good take by Matt Walsh. Whoa, Matt Walsh of all people with a good take. Yep, here we go.
They control over 40%.
Hold on, let me restart. Talking about boomers and the economy. You know, we love to talk about that. Here's Matt Walsh on it.
Boomers today control over 40% of the national real estate wealth, and about a quarter of them own a second home or a vacation property. One Northwestern Mutual survey found that less than a quarter plan to leave an inheritance to future generations. A Charles Schwab survey of high net worth Americans found that for nearly half of baby boomers, their top priority is to, quote, enjoy my money for myself while I'm still alive. Economically, the boomers did have it considerably easier than their children have it. When they started entering the housing market in the late 1960s, the dollar was still pegged to the gold standard. The immigration laws that transformed the country had only just passed, and so had not yet transformed the country. The cities were mostly still livable, but in steep, swift decline because of laws supported by boomers. And it was easy to build new housing in suburbs, which were hardly regulated.
So, hey, you're sick and tired of the boomer blaming? Too fucking bad. It's their fault. Who do you want us to blame? They own over 50% of all of the world's wealth in one generation. Who do you want us to blame? They have all the systemic power. They run the government, the presidency, Congress. Who the fuck else would we blame, you fucking idiot?
Boomer NIMBYs hadn't made it impossible to build in coastal California yet. Owning a home was the American dream, and it was an attainable one. Now that they've secured their dominant position in the American real estate market, boomers generally have done everything possible to make sure housing stays unaffordable.
Yep.
Now, boomers today control over
100% true. Everything he said is true. Sorry if you don't like that. Okay. This doesn't mean we hate boomers. We're not talking about a specific boomer, your mom. We're not talking about her. We're saying as a generation, yes, they're the ones in control. They hold all the wealth. They hold all the power. So yes, they get blamed for the country and the economy being dog shit because they're the ones in fucking control of it. God. People are dumb as fuck sometimes, huh, guys? Okay. Next, these clips. I don't know if you've seen this. The Jubilees, right? And this was Dean Withers versus a bunch of MAGA women. And let's this was just a rough watch. Anyway, let's see what these MAGA ladies know about the economy.
What is one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago under Biden?
The amount of drug use and fentanyl in society has gone down miraculously because he has closed the border and illegal drugs are.
First of all, she has on star pimple patches that my 12-year-old daughter wears, and she showed up to a debate with them on, so not a great start.
No longer allowed to come in.
Do you understand the question I'm asking you? My next surrounded claim is Donald Trump is a terrible president. Why do you support Trump?
I think that he's obviously done a lot of things. I can't say he's a perfect person, but I do think he has done things to benefit us.
What is one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago under Biden?
Closing the borders.
So that's not a macroeconomic indicator.
Yeah,
a macroeconomic indicator would be something like GDP growth, unemployment, inflation, jobs reports. And by definition, a macroeconomic indicator is just simply a gauge that we could use to determine the health of the economy overall. So
yes,
once again,
absolutely.
Speaking about GDP growth, inflation, like wages,
well,
so on and
health
so
of
forth.
the economy, if I can dive into that.
One indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago under Biden.
The amount of drug use and fentanyl in society has gone down miraculously because he has closed the border and illegal drugs are no longer allowed to come in.
Do you understand the question I'm asking you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't. I can't anymore. Oh, but wait, we got another one. This one's not economy, but I wanted you guys to see a few of these just because. Oh, it's a painful watch.
How many continents are there?
give you that.
How many continents are there?
Okay.
Ma'am, how many continents are there?
There's hundreds, but I can't
There's
remember.
7! A couple weeks ago, we woke up in a new America with a new system of justice where you and Trump could commit the same crime, tax fraud. You could be thrown in jail for it, and he can't even be investigated for it because of his deal with the IRS. And all of those things, when they are used to represent the claim, make America great again, absolutely do make MAGA a slur. It's embarrassing to be MAGA. I mean, get a grip, you guys. Get a grip. And I said a lot there. I'll let you to respond. But I have so much else to say. You know, like you were talking about,
Okay, sorry. I just wanted you to see her when she's asked how many continents are there. Hundreds. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. I actually got asked to come be on one of these guys. And I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm gonna pass. I'm not gonna debate 20 retarded kids. But anyway, here's another one. Economy. So we're going to see a lot of this. Fox News, CNN, Newsmax, all these sort of Zionist-owned media companies are pushing this. Oh, fear of communism. It's all we've heard about in the media, right? Well, I guess Islamophobia didn't work, so now we're doing the Red Scare again because Republicans have no idea what to do at the moment and heading into the midterms. But so they say here, favorability money rating amongst Dems. Socialism has gone from, in 2010, 50% to 66% in 2025. Capitalism, 51% down to 42%. Now, whether you want socialism, nobody is advocating for communism, first of all. Literally nobody in the country. Sorry, that's a retarded Fox News boomer thing. Socialism, sure. Now, whether you're an advocate for socialism or not, I don't really care. But if you don't understand why young people, especially, are moving towards socialism, I don't know what's going on with your brain. Okay. The economy is horrible, and it is horrible predominantly for young people, especially Gen Z. They can't afford rent. They can't afford housing. They can't afford food. Their student loan debt is out of control. Echo, is there an echo? Is there an echo? Are we crackling? Is there an echo? Hold on, guys. Looking at chat. No, well, I don't think it should be. It's not clipping. It'll do this. Hold on. Check. Let's see, check. No, it's too low. How are we here? No echo? All right. Crackling. Crackles are back. Okay. This is my computer, guys. It's the software. Unfortunately, we got to reboot. All right. No, if it's crackling. No, it's definitely crackling is yeah, we can't write it out. Okay, hey, real quick, we'll just reboot real quick. Not a big deal. It's my software. It does this every once in a while. Stand by. Now I can't roll with it. Microphone. This should be good, right? Hopefully. Our buffer rate got changed for some reason. Multiple settings got changed out of nowhere, which never get changed. So that's odd. That's odd, huh? Anyway, okay, we're good. We're back. Anyway, we were ranting about socialism. Again, if you can't understand why young kids... Did we just freeze? Jesus Christ. My fucking software is all over the place today. All right, if you can't understand why young people are turning to socialism, yeah, if you can't afford anything, people offer you free shit, you're going to be interested. So maybe create a economy that works for fucking everyone, and maybe they'll be into capitalism. First of all, we don't have, the United States there's no capitalism in our economy, right? I don't know why we keep saying that we're a capitalist country. We're not. We're a corporate oligarchy. Nothing about our economy is capitalistic. It's capitalism for the rich. It's not capitalism for us. So that's a little silly just to begin with, right? Okay. Now we're going to jump into the fun stuff with old Trump Daddy. Old Trump Daddy. We got a lot to talk about. Let's hit a couple super chats first before we do that. All right. Are we good? Somebody just said crackle. Not sure I believe you because I actually have the settings right now. Looks like everybody else says it sounds good. Fucker. Okay. Sounds like we're good now. Okay. A couple super chats. And then let's keep it moving into the Trump section. All right. TDW, the Daily Wire hires compromised people they can control. That actually makes sense. Happy July 14th or July 4th. Thank you. Seeing how the CIA have broken their character and have been operating domestically. Yeah, they're not supposed to do that. What are the chances our Green Berets will do so as counter to Mossad? No, not while Donald Trump controls the country. That's not going to happen. Yeah, I mean, obviously the CIA and the military are not supposed to operate domestically, so it's not great. Not great. Politicians love shekels more than the United States. That's true. Who pays for the tariffs? You and I, the American consumer pays for over 90% of the tariffs. Don't miss the opportunity to get baptized under the Israeli flag at the Great American State Fair. Happy 25th. We have a whole section on the Great American State Fair that we're going to take a look at here in the show. Zionism is Nazism with a kippah. Pretty much, yeah. The chair is against the door. All right, 2 more. Nothing the government produces is free. Free equals IDs equals tax. True. Preach it. Federal holiday for voting. Yep. Hell yeah. All right, let's jump into the next section of the show. We're talking about old Donnie boy, and we've got a great clip from one of our favorites on the show, of course, Tim Dillon. So let's take a look at this and watch this together. This is about Donald Trump wanting to use a nuclear weapon, which I believe he wants to. Check this out.
Now, there's no hope for you. There's no helping you. Trump doesn't care about anything that you think he cares about, in the sense that, like, he understands that it's all a show, and basically what he wants to do is he's going to try to whack some leaders and knock over some countries so that in history they can turn around and go, yeah, that Donald Trump, he was the man.
Yep.
That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, he's
He doesn't care if you get, an operation on your foot. He doesn't. It's not his. He's not trying to do that. He's not trying to, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about deportations or immigration. Whatever he presented that he cared about, he doesn't care about any of that. He doesn't care. Term 2 is about let's whack some people. Because, by the way, when you have all that power and you don't get to use it, he's sitting around going, what is it for? He wants to fire a nuke. Of course.
Yep.
He wants to nuke someone. There's no way he doesn't want to nuke someone. He wants to know what it feels like to order a first strike nuclear attack on someone. Because why have it?
Yep.
Why have this capability and not use it? He wants to do it. Because this has been fun for him. He's like done all the things. Term 1, he was kind of like sandbagged by his advisors. They're like, you can't do this. He killed Soleimani. And then term 2, he's like, yeah, it'd be fun to bomb people. It'd be fun to start a war. I want to do that. And I'm sure he's like, it'd be fun to nuke someone. It'd be fun to press a button and vaporize.
All right, I see this one. I see this one a lot. Let's see. Let's do a poll. A lot of people don't believe. The hell is that? A lot of people don't believe nuclear weapons are real. They think they're a conspiracy. So let's do a poll before I give you my opinion. All right. Yes or no? Do you believe nukes are real? And then I'll actually give you the 100% proof of how you know one way or another if they're actually real or not. But let's get your guys' take here first on it before we do that. All right, now let's move in. Great clip by Tim Dillon, by the way. 100% agree with that. We've talked about it on the show before. He 100% is going to try to use that button before he leaves office. I believe that. Let's take a look at just Donald Trump's memes and True Social posts. Some of the most deranged stuff. It's going to be maybe a new part of the show where we just look at the craziest shit that this guy fucking says each week. Here's a picture he shared. Donald Trump posted this picture of himself as Atlas, a god. He's now posting himself as a god. At first it was Christ. Now it's a different type of god. Carrying the earth, sparking online buzz. So, okay. President of the United States posting AI slop on social media. All right, next one. Of course. He posted this picture of himself next to Barack Obama. I think he thought this was a flex. First of all, you weren't in the military, so I don't know why posting a picture of you at 20 in a military uniform when you never served and you dodged the draft to go to Vietnam makes you think you look good here, because all I see is Barack Obama just aura farming the fuck out of your dumb stolen valor ass. That's all I see here on this one. So that's a little bizarre. Okay, he also said this. This was a couple days ago. He said, my real poll numbers are the highest they have ever been. Thank you, President Donald J. Trump. His real poll numbers. Maybe those ones are pulling. But this is what he had to say here. That he actually has a 65% approval rating. It's just that the journalists and the pollsters don't tell the truth. He actually has a 65% approval rating. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know he had a 65%? Not a 32% approval rating, which Fox News has him at. He has a 65% approval rate. Absolutely amazing. Now we're going to do another poll. So, okay, let's okay, good. So 90% of you said yes, 10% of you said no. Here, you guys want to know how you know nuclear weapons are real? It's very, 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 very simple. And it's not because you watched videos of them. It's not because of Japan. It's not because of any of those things. The way you know that nuclear weapons are real is that we have not invaded North Korea. That's how you know nuclear weapons are real. It's literally not more complicated than that. If nukes weren't real, we would have removed the UNs from power 30, 40 years ago. So that's how you know. We haven't invaded North Korea. So there you go. The easiest way to know that nukes are real. So use that one the next time you hear that. Yeah, everybody, pretty much whenever people hear that, they go, oh, fuck, yeah. You're right. Good point. Because we would 1,000% have invaded North Korea by now if they weren't real. Okay, now the next poll we got to do, because again, Donald Trump, and again, this is a conservative show. Of course, we do have some Democrats that like to watch the show, but we have a predominantly right-leaning audience. So let's find out. Let's find out Donald Trump's approval rating. Donald Trump. Approve? Disapprove? We'll do our own. We'll do our own poll right here with a conservative-based audience, right? Why don't we find out ourselves? Okay, let's get back to Donald Trump saying crazy shit. Here's another one. Communism. This is the big push, right? The Fox News push is they're trying to drum up to terrify the boomers, right? You got to terrify the boomers coming into the midterms. The Islamophobia push that they tried to use during Zoran, when he was running for mayor, it didn't work. And so now they're going with old reliable, the 1950s scare tactic, communism. Boo, scary. Communism is the greatest threat to our country since World War I, World War II, Pearl Harbor, and 9/11. President Donald J. Trump. Yes, communism. Yes, the communists. That's who has complete systemic control of our government for sure. Not the Zionists, but the communists. Who are these communists? Who are the communists that have control of the government? I'm a little confused because I don't know who they are. Do you guys know who they are? If you guys could point them to me and point them out, find them for me, that'd be great. But it seems like the wrong ism. Seems like we're worried about the wrong ism, right? In this country, I don't think it's communism that's the big problem. Not in this country. It may be a problem other places. But, here's Donald Trump. The reflecting pool, you guys know the reflecting pool has been an abject disaster as well. If you didn't know, it's actually Barack Obama's fault, according to Donald Trump. The more you know.
Part of what's curious about this situation is we stood here with you in April when you first revealed the plans.
I said what?
In April, you showed us pictures of what you were going to do at the pool, and you said you had a guy who was going to do it in a week for about $1 million.
Well,
it's been 2 months for $16.5 million.
Yeah, okay, ready? Barack Hussein Obama, have you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
He spent 2 years and over $100 million on trying to fix it. You know what happened to it? Never even opened.
Right.
He took the water from the river. You know about that, right? It turned out to be putrid, and it destroyed the whole thing.
There you go. It's Barack Obama's fault. Obama did it, guys. I didn't know that. I didn't know Obama was the one who destroyed Trump's new reflecting pool. But there you go. Everything's always Obama with Donald Trump. I didn't know that. That's good to know. I didn't know. Now I do. Okay, here is Donald Trump getting called a pedophile by a heckler, which is quite hilarious.
More than 100 years, this legendary company has been making trucks right here in eastern Pennsylvania, building the heavy-duty machinery that keeps our economy rolling, our factories moving, and our industries growing all across the nation.
I love how everybody's cheering too. Everybody started cheering. Yeah, good for that heckler. You know what I mean? I love a good heckler. Yeah, that's immediate. Here's another one. Did you guys see this? Why did Donald Trump went on Fox and Friends? I'm sure you guys have seen this. If you haven't, holy shit. And it looks like he has a towel below him. Now, people are trying to say this is his suit jacket. No, that's not his suit jacket. That's not how a suit jacket flares out. But it looks like they put a black towel underneath Donald Trump on the couch he was sitting on. Diapered on, as they say. Apparently, maybe a bitter. Yeah, it's a white. Somebody said it's a white couch. Yeah, that's true. That's fair. That's fair. It is a white couch, and if that was my really nice white couch, I might put a towel down for Trump too. So anyway, just kind of wild stuff. Here's another one. If you guys didn't see this, it's official. The new passports are going to be Donald Trump passports. Trump posted himself here. But also the headlines on this are hilarious. It says, Donald Trump posted this. The USA's new passports, which says, welcome, but be good. President DJT. And as the comment up here says, the world's dumbest fucking president thinks foreign tourists are issued United States passports. Yeah. He thinks passports are for people who are coming into the country. This is a guy who, again, I guess just being a billionaire, he's completely detached from reality of how things work. But yeah, he literally thinks that this is for people coming into America. I don't know how somebody didn't like. How did his advisors not see him like go to post that and be like, sir, please stop, do not post that. Passports are not for immigrants coming into the country. There are for our own citizens going to other countries. But anyway, just I guess if you were planning on getting a passport, get it now so that you don't have to get the Donald Trump passport. More L's for the Republican Party and MAGA. It's unfortunate to find out, but yes, Alligator Alcatraz. You guys remember that one? Immigration Detention Center in Florida is officially closed. Yes, it's officially closed. They weren't able to keep it open. Apparently, it was too expensive, and it was dumb as shit to begin with. Having a prison with a moat of alligators around it, like it was the 9th century, turned out to be a little bit silly. Okay, a couple more. Well, we do got quite a few more for the Trumpster. This is actually an incredible chart I'm going to show you guys here. I mean, this kind of says everything, right? Look, check out this chart. So what this chart is it's the approval rating of Donald Trump overall and with Gen Z, okay? Dated starting back at January 2025, and this is May 2026, okay, as of a couple months ago. But why this is so interesting is you can see Gen Z has this massive downturn in approval rating of Donald Trump to minus 29, okay? And what you see here in this break point, now there's been a little bit of a downtrend, but you see sort of Charlie Kirk gets assassinated and it just plummets into the abyss, right? And so what people are saying is Charlie Kirk was carrying the flames so hard that his death single-handedly caused Gen Z support for Trump to crater. Donald Trump has fallen, 39.2 points with Gen Z since the start of his second term. Absolutely burned in. As it turns out, Charlie was the only one holding it together. And maybe you shouldn't have got rid of him. Just something to think about. All right, here's another one from Trump. Again, the communists. Ooh. The communists are finally making their move. I've been waiting. Well, I should probably do this. The communists are finally making their move. I've been waiting and preparing for a long time. It's easy to be a communist. All you have to say is, I'll give you everything. But that means you're taking it away from others who've earned it. Over 1,000 years, that ideology has not worked once. The game is on. Enjoy watching. President Donald J. Trump. All right, so there we go. We had to really kick out the sounds like I'm in a tunnel. Are you sure? That was just my Trump voice. Oh, DJT. So yes, this guy can't. He can't buy a win, guys. He can't buy a win, right? Also found out that Donald Trump's war in Iran is now the most unpopular war in U.S. history. It just overtook Vietnam. in a minus 32 approval rating. That's bad. World War II had a plus 62, by the way. Vietnam, minus 31. Next closest. Afghanistan only had a minus 1. Minus 1. Iraq only had a minus 14. Iran is at minus 32. Yes. Turns out nobody supports it. Another thing, guys, who do you think Barron Trump's dad is? Anybody got some guesses? Do you think it's Trump? Because Barron Trump may look exactly like somebody. And once you see it, you'll never be able to unsee it. Let me show you who, again, I don't know, but oh my God. Let's take a look. Here is Barron Trump today, side by side with Justin Trudeau. And as I told you, once you see it, you most certainly cannot fucking unsee it. So, wow, huh? Wow, huh? Who do you think is more likely to be that kid's father? Do you think it's I'm just saying, guys. So look at this. Look at this MAGA cuck. Definitely doesn't look like Trump. Somebody said they look nothing alike. You sure? You're telling me. You're telling me these two people side by side don't look alike? Not sure I believe you, because that looks more like his fucking kid than any other kid possibly could look. That is the most father-son I have ever seen. Somebody said, look at this. Somebody said he looks like Trump. Oh, God, MAGA is so silly. That's so silly. I'm sorry. Look at that. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, believe whatever you want, but let's do a little throwback. We talked about little Benny Boy, but this is about Trump. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this tweet about Trump. Donald Trump said, wow, Lion Ted Cruz really went wacko today, made all sorts of crazy charges, can't function under pressure, not very presidential, sad. He's been talking like this forever. Ben Shapiro responds, you're a conspiratorial piece of progressive refuse with fewer brain cells than your average supporter has teeth. Ooh, Ben Shapiro calling MAGA a bunch of hillbilly retards. What? Oh, well, this is back in 2016. Times have changed. Times have changed, it turns out, now that Donald Trump is a giant Zionist cuck. Ben Shapiro, it's his favorite president. Isn't it amazing how much things have changed in just 10 years? Remember that Donald Trump? The Donald Trump that Ben Shapiro and the Zionists hated? Man, those were the days, huh? Those were the days. Times have changed. Times have changed. That's not how things work anymore, is it? No. All right, let's keep it moving. Keep it moving. Hold on a second. All right. Now, I want to show you this one because I got an announcement to make. This is the Necessary Podcast. I know a lot of you guys are fans of this show. I'm a big fan of this show. Let's take a look at this one. It's a show between a brother and sister, and they are Democrats, or I'm not going to put words in their mouth, liberals, I guess you could say. And their parents are hardcore MAGA. All right. So anyway, let's check this out.
Do you think Donald Trump is being given this experimental drug to stay alive?
I don't know, but probably not. When I read your topic, I was like, okay, some man has been allowed in this case study. It didn't even click to me that it could be Donald Trump.
Not some man, one person.
Yeah, one person.
Right. This is a drug that is still in clinical trials, and the FDA is like, okay, yeah, we'll make this one exception. You think that's just a random guy?
Maybe.
No, it's someone of importance, probably with lots of money.
There are trials all the time where people apply and get into these. But I swear, when I read the topic,
But that's a trial with like multiple people across multiple states, maybe countries. Like that's a clinical trial. This isn't a clinical trial. They're just like, all right, he wants it, we'll give it to him.
I swear, when I read the topic, it did not click in my brain that it was Donald Trump. It did not.
What other 79-year-old man would they give it to?
Anybody.
Paul, do you?
So I love their show because, again, I think that sort of situation is very, very common for people, especially with millennials, of having you and your siblings not be MAGA and having your parents be hardcore MAGA. And it's going to be a fun show because we are going to do a show with them, not this Friday, but next Friday. So should be a fun show. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be not this Friday, but next Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific. All right, we're going to do a show together, me and the Necessary Podcast. So it should be a fun one. I just saw somebody said Nate is Italian. Do I look Italian? Fucking idiot. First of all, no. And I look like the most Scandinavian motherfucker on the planet. Nate's Italian, but his channel name's Valhalla. Do you think I'm Italian because my last name is Cornacchia? Well, let me enlighten you. Our last name is Cornacchia because my dad's dad was adopted by an Italian family. So it turns out, oh, no, we're not Italian. Let's just have an Italian last name. We are fucking from Sweden, you fucking retard. There you go. Do I look Italian, you fucking idiot? Jesus Christ. People are, I'm just blown away by how stupid some people are. I literally look like, put me on the show Vikings, and I'm fucking right there with everybody. I'm the most Scandinavian looking motherfucker ever, dude. Come on, get it together. Get it together, dude. Holy shit. So, God, we got some fucking idiots in here tonight, huh? Some fucking retards in here tonight. Okay, but I mean, par for the course sometimes on this show. Now, let's take a look at what J.D. Vance had to say when he was asked if he thinks Donald Trump is going to be impeached after the midterms.
Democrats do win the midterms. Is Trump getting impeached again?
I'm sure he'll get impeached. Look, they have nothing to actually run on or govern on. Their entire obsessive focus of that party is they hate Donald Trump. So if they ever get power, are they going to, lower Americans' taxes? No. Are they going to make your life
Republicans didn't lower American taxes?
More affordable? No.
Republicans aren't making your life more affordable?
Are they going to solve the crime crisis?
Republicans aren't solving the crime crisis?
No. What they're going to do is they're going to spend all their time and all of your money trying to get Donald Trump. I think it's ridiculous. That's what they're running on. But
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. No, I think Democrats should run on, we will impeach Donald Trump. That should be the platform. That's it. You could run strictly on that. Don't run on, the crazy fucking not progressive, but like woke nonsense and shit. No, none of that. Just run on, we will impeach and remove Donald Trump from office, and J.D. Vance. Run on that. People will vote for you. People will vote for you. So, because Republicans aren't doing anything. Republicans are doing literally nothing. Republicans can't buy a win. Republicans have complete control of the government, the presidency, the House, the Senate. They have a majority on the Supreme Court, and they can't get anything across the line. Nothing. Well, they've had 5 bills pass in 2 years. And that main bill, all it did was massive corporate tax cuts for billionaires. That was the main thing. They've got nothing across the line. So you're telling me Democrats will do the same thing, but they'll impeach Donald Trump? Okay. I mean, if you're trying to get me to vote Democrat, then tell me stuff like that. Now, let's let's take a look at one of the other things here, and this was the gigantic. I mean, I'm blown away at the size of this thing, guys. If you haven't seen this, what is it? The fair, the America's 250th, right? The big event in Washington, D.C. I'm actually blown away. This thing was massive. I mean, the amount of people that showed up to this was absolutely crazy. And Donald Trump says it here. He says, do you think people appreciate what a fantastic job we did in building and operating the Great America State Fair at the National Mall, packed with happy people and everybody loving it? Ask yourself this simple question. Do you think that Obama or sleepy Joe Biden, I'm not sure why he keeps calling Joe Biden sleepy when he's fallen asleep 4 times more than Joe Biden has on camera, but I digress, could have done it? The answer is no. The answer is no. Well, okay, let's compare. Well, that's Obama's 4th of July celebration in 2001. This was the Trump Great American State Fair. Now, people are going to try to say, the MAGA cucks in the chat will try to say, no, that was before people showed up. Well, unfortunately, no, it wasn't. What's going on here? Come on, threads. But 1 second, guys. Oh, shit, I lost what I was going to. Let me close this out and rebring it up. We need this one. We need this one. All right, we'll skip past it for now. That's the Fox News one we needed. We needed the video of, oh, here we go. Now I found it. Okay.
You may be doing your Sunday show from a state fair on the National Mall. How great is this?
It's really something. And
there it
the
is.
Weather, not the best today, but people are still coming out.
People are still coming in. Listen, we need rain, so we'll take it. Well, the farmers need the rain, so we're going to be okay with it.
Look at this crowd, guys. Absolutely
Maybe
massive.
doing your Sunday show from a state fair on the National Mall. How great
Absolutely
is this?
massive crowd.
It's really something. And the weather, not the best today, but people are still coming out.
People are still coming in. Listen, we need rain, so we'll take it. Well, the farmers need the rain.
That's rough. That's a rough time to be Fox News. Here's another clip. And this is obviously when people were all there. Just tens of people showed up, guys. As Donald Trump said, nothing. No one could have ever created a miraculous event like this. Yes. And not only that, guys, we know that everyone canceled. All the music performers canceled. All of them canceled. However, they were able to get a last-minute performer, only one performer for the fair after the 9 music artists all canceled. They were able to get one country music sensation to come perform that made it all worth it, baby. And that was, of course, Alexis Wilkins. Yes, Kash Patel's girlfriend showed up at Freedom 250 as the main headliner. So congratulations to her. Now, they weren't able to get all the other featured performers, but they were able to get Alexa Wilkins. So congratulations to her. I hope that they didn't pay her, because that would be a massive, massive conflict of interest, considering her boyfriend is the director of the FBI. But again, they were able to get her, so thank God. Now, I like this. I got to restart it, though. I like this clip because this clip is a woman, seems like a nice woman. She's actually just showing you all the things you can do at the fair. But why it's so great is that you can see there's just literally. Well, I can't play the sound, apparently. There's just literally no one here. It's rough. Yep. Oh yeah. Yikes. Yeah. Not quite anybody showing up. And then here's everybody. Here's everybody leaving while Donald Trump is speaking. During his speech, Donald Trump showed up, by the way.
Larger than Russia and Saudi Arabia by far combined.
See ya.
And under my most favored nation agreement on drug prices, we are delivering the largest reduction in.
That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. The president of the United States shows up and the entire place exits. What a massive success, huh? What a massive success that one was. Oh, man, having to restart my computer, guys, a little bit brutal because it reset all of my clips. That's okay. We'll work through it. All right. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about, Republican politicians. What's going on with Republican politicians? Susan Collins, yes, Graham Plattner's opponent. Let's see what she has to say.
In terms of showing up for these votes. Last question, the issue of Israel is becoming such a hot button, and it could be a factor in your race, which is a very close race. Most of the polls have him up by about 4. It's a similar margin that you were down by in your last election, which you ended up winning. But what do you say, when you hear these numbers that an AIPAC endorsement can make people less likely? 44% say it would make them less likely to vote for the candidate. You have been supportive of Israel. Are you changing that support at all in light of all of this?
No way. I remain a very strong supporter of Israel, the one democracy in the Middle East, our true ally in the Middle East. And I think this sadly reflects rising anti-Semitism in our
That's not clipping. That's how she speaks.
Country that Graham Plattner certainly is part of and has been since his high school days.
Yeah, that's that, guys. That's not clipping. That's her fucking voice. Now, watch this. So you think that's gross? This clip is even grosser. Okay, so she responds to the claim that Susan Collins and all the other politicians sent him and every other Iraq war veteran to go die in the Middle East. And this is what her response to that was.
Senator Collins, Mr. Plattner says that you sent him to war, but in fact, he enlisted twice.
Correct.
What is your comment on that?
Well, first of all, he not only enlisted twice after the war was started, but he also went to work for a security company, a controversial one named Blackwater, after his term in the service was over.
So Susan Collins is blaming military service members. It's their fault. Well, you shouldn't have enlisted then. If you didn't want to go fight and die in Iraq, which you probably didn't sign up for at the time, that's your fault. That's your fault, Marines. That's your fault, infantrymen. You fucking idiots. You enlisted. You should be happy to go die in Iraq. That's what Susan Collins had to say. Politicians, huh? So, and I mean, she can barely fucking speak. At this point, she can barely talk at this point. So maybe it's time for her to move along. Maybe it's time for her to move along, huh? Oh, here's more. This is all the Republican Party has now. Just so exhausting. Like, instead of this, could you just fucking do something beneficial and positive for the country while you have complete control of the government? That would be nice. I know you guys refuse to do it. All you can do is send money to fucking foreign countries. But here you go. Mike Johnson, Grindr enthusiast, says, visitors around the world marvel at what our free system of free enterprise has built. Yeah, not our own people right now, not really feeling that way. And then he says, while rising socialist, Marxist, and Democrat candidates are trying to tear the system down. The system that has gas prices at $5 a gallon, the system that has groceries unaffordable, the system that has a housing market where people can't afford to live, that system? I don't know. It's you're not doing very good sell here. You're just making people, and you're going to tell me Democrats are going to tear all that down? You guys are. I don't think these Republican politicians understand that they're making the Democrat Party sound more appealing when they say shit like this. It's wild. And here they go again. I mean, they can't stop themselves. This is their push into the midterms. They're doing, everybody's communist.
Democrat Party, the socialists, the Marxists have nominated some of the most radical candidates to ever run for office, and they're running for Congress. The insurgent left is on the rise. I was reminded all last night and this morning about the warning, the admonition from the Gipper, President Ronald Reagan. And he reminded us constantly, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction.
God, these fucking people. Then do something, bro. Then do something. Don't be a fucking cuck Zionist, dude. Do something positive, anything. And to this point right here, Anna Paulina Luna says, the GOP is not perfect, but the alternative is very bad. Transitioning kids. nominating actual terrorist sympathizers and DEI Nazis to serve in the Senate. Don't buy into the attempted opt to depress Republican turnout in midterms. If you don't like something, fix it. Let's let Ryan Matta respond to that. And he says, "We tried that. That's how you got elected, genius. Then you sold us out to Israel. I'll never vote for another Republican again. Definitely not anyone telling me Israel's not a terrorist state." Now, hey, Anna, as you say here, if you don't like something, fix it. Yeah, that's what you were supposed to fucking do. And you guys fixed nothing. And you know why you fixed nothing, Anna? Because you're using ChatGPT, Claude AI, to write your fucking legislative bills with. Yes, if you didn't see this story, oh my God, Republican Anna Paulina Luna has been caught using AI to write legislation after the phrase "Claude responded" was accidentally left in her bill's text. She said she was only using it to spell check. Okay. Oh, man. What a letdown. What a letdown she's been. She's been on my show before. And I just, oh, God, what a disaster. I mean, from faking being assaulted to using AI to write legislative bills. What an abject disaster. What a letdown. What a letdown she's been. She had a lot of potential. Sad to see. Super sad to see. But anyway, it's just that's the way it goes, I guess. All right, next we are going to, so we got a new section on the show. New section on the show. We're actually going to hit super chats first, but the new section on the show, I think it's a good section. Hold on, I want to make sure these don't go too far ahead on me. So, new section of the show is going to be that we just get to see what is in the boomers' reality. Okay, what is boomers' reality in the media space? So, what we are going to do is look at Fox News clips to see what the boomers are ingesting, because it's the only media they watch, and it gives us a good sense of what reality is for them. Okay, so that's going to be a new segment on the show, just so we can understand, like, what is their reality that they're living in, because it's not the same one the rest of us are based off of the media that they get. All right. But let's hit some super chats first, right? President Nixon's revenge says extra $500 billion to the defense budget. Yes, is going to our greatest ally next year. Look at the current House Senate bill. Yeah, it will give access to our greatest ally to spend our defense budget. Yeah. And Thomas Massie just put forward a bill to remove Section 224 out of that legislation. And of course, it was voted down by Congress. So that will remain in the bill. Great. Rubio's an anchor baby. Too good. Yes. Both his parents were illegal immigrants when he was born here. You can Google that yourself. Right, the guy said, you totally just changed my thinking on the birthright thing. I agree now that it was explained like that. Love the show, bro. I appreciate you, brother. Birthright citizenship is a problem, but under control of our greatest ally, it was dangerous. They could have used it to eliminate citizenship. Believe it or not, 30 other countries have birthright citizenship. I'm assuming they are all European countries then, because sure shit ain't that way in Asia. I'll tell you that. Under Article 30 of the Mexican Constitution, any child born within Mexican territory is automatically granted Mexican citizenship. Interesting. But that also makes sense because Mexico has like 1.5 million American citizens living in it. So there's that. Maybe that's a reciprocal then, huh? Birth tourism is real. Have had many patients in L&D that fly here to stay a bit in a home, give birth, skip out on a hospital bill, get the birth certificate, and then fly back with a U.S. citizen baby. Wow. I'm assuming that Danny, Danny, registered nurse in the name. There you go. There are doctors that advertise this and bank. Wow. Danny, that I did not know. It does make sense. I could 100% see that. That I didn't know. But I'm going to believe you because you're a registered nurse. Todd Blanche will go down like Nixon's AG did. I hope so. All right, two more, and then we'll jump back into the show. Bobby says, this was not the Supreme Trump I ordered. I also wonder how Miller handled the sunlight. Thank God there are no mirrors or garlic around. I know he's a little creepy vampire, isn't he? That guy creeps me out. Yep. All right, last one. Birth tourism is giant where I work. A lot of Chinese, Indian, and Nigerian nationals are giving birth in our L&D, probably a good 30% of total births. Here's another one. All right, last one. Kathleen says, thanks for your content. Side note, I can't see the acorn head. Unsee the acorn head. Yeah, Ben Shapiro's little goy slave. All right. Yeah, so let's check in on the boomers. and see how they're doing. Okay, see how they're doing. Now, check this out. This is Fox News. This is Fox News. They put this up here. Check this out. Questions on the Democrat Party future amid socialism surge. The New York's far left slate. This is what Fox News is saying, that the far left, this is their agenda. Ending military aid to Israel. Abolishing ICE. Housing for all. Medicare for all. Taxes on the wealthy. This is what we're supposed to be terrified of. Fox, do you want people to vote for Democrat? Sounds pretty good. I mean, is that what far left? If that's what the far left is running on, then I guess I'm voting far left. Now, I don't think that's actually going to be their policies that they can get across the line, but if that actually was their policies, that looks good. I don't. And again, we're in boomerland, right? We're in boomerland here. All right, let's check it out. Let's see what else is going on. Here's Sean Hannity responding to the New York election. He's honestly about to cry. Literally, he sounds like he's about to cry.
Fox News alert, incumbent Congressman Dan Goldman, who was just banned from a New York City coffee shop because of his support for Israel. He has now lost his primary to a radical socialist backed by Mamdani. It appears
He's
that
cry.
A pretty scary transformation is now fully underway in the Democratic Party, especially in a blue state like New York. All right, this.
Oh God. Oh God, the Zionist candidate lost. Oh no. Oh no. All right, here we go. Here's more. What else we got?
Because if we turn our government over to a bunch of Democrat socialists, Israel will be treated like South Africa was in the 1980s. It'll be boycott all the way. The truth is, and yes, I know this, Trump's been briefed on all the options. And the one thing we know about Trump, he does not stop until he gets the best deal possible.
Is Fox News making me vote Democrat? Because all the stuff you keep showing me sounds pretty fucking good. It's kind of what we all want. Again, I'm not really sure how this is. Again, like that's why I like this new segment of the show, so that we can just see the insanity. Here we go.
All of Congress and all of these progressive candidates, you're right, Harris, they outnumber the regular Democrats because that is the Democrat now. In fact, maybe we should stop saying the qualifier Democratic. They are just socialists.
They're just
and that means Democrat.
Well, and I think sliding into communism, forgive me 1 second, David, because I want to hit on what you said. This sounds like the moment just before Hitler moved in. Because Jews were told, so first they were to wear the star, first they were to give over parts of their business. It was like a mob taking over, and it seemed to be very slow. And then the next thing you know, they're being marched out of their homes and put in holding camps at first, and then
again, this is what the boomers are ingesting. This is what they sit and watch all night. Right? Is it starting to make sense now? The reality that they live in? Here's another one. Here we go. Old Levine.
I'm going to start the program where I'd rather not start, but I must. I want to say to people in and out of the administration, stop trashing, smearing, bullying the little state of Israel. Stop cozying up to and telling us that the enemy regime in Iran is now more rational, more moderate, and a regime that we can deal with. When just a few months ago, they slaughtered 50,000 people, they're still hanging young people today.
Really?
And if they had a nuclear missile today, they'd fire it into our country as sure as I'm alive.
Oh, could you imagine being a boomer, sitting watching that on cable news on your TV in your recliner, just going, oh, they're going to launch the nuke. Oh, okay. Okay. This is again. All right, here we go. Here's some more. Unfortunately, here's Megyn Kelly, who's turned back to the side of being psychotic.
This has been going on for over a dozen years. Go home. Get out. We know our country's better than yours. That's because we filled it with our work ethic and our culture. And
first of all, Megyn, who's we? Who's our? Because you are a podcaster and you have been your entire life. Unlike me as a podcaster, well, I spent my entire adult life serving in the military. Who's we? What did you build, Megyn? Just curious. Anyway.
Our values. You being here only dilutes it for us, those who built it and live it. And half of you people, more than half, you won't assimilate. We don't want you. We don't care if you're offended. Get out. Go home. Go back to fucking Haiti. And look.
Wow. Wow. Well, do you guys remember 2 weeks ago when we showed clips of her on Sean Ryan's show? And what was she saying? Oh, I'm a moderate and I have so much in common with the Democrats. Well, I guess. I guess. Somebody said you agree with her, huh? We should kick out all the brown people. Kick out the brown people. I bet you do, because you're a fucking racist, dude. I bet you do want all the brown people kicked out, right? Yeah, and I get it, man. I get people are racist, and it is what it is, But it's the way it goes. So, believe what you want. I'm not somebody that believes that. Only we got to kick out every immigrant, get them the fuck out, because you know what? The country's only 250 years old. And even the Caucasian immigrants have only been around here for a few generations. So just something to think about. I get it. People are racist and, it feels good to say stuff like that, but a little bit psychotic. All right. Here's where am I at? Oh, we got another new section on the show. My goddamn threads unlogged, and it's making this somehow. Oh my God. I was logged in to my Munchkins Instagram account. I don't know why it did this to me. 1 second. But now that I restarted my computer, it's making me fucking log in. We might just skip this. Hold on. Let me try one thing real quick, because this is actually a funny part of the show. But rebooting my computer reset a bunch of this shit. So, God damn it. Let me see if I can close these and just reopen them. I really do. Fuck. No, we got to skip it. All right, we're gonna have a new part of the show, and it's gonna be called the comment section. And all we're gonna do is I just show you the comment section of MAGA influencers, and it's absolutely. Oh, there we go. Finally went through. Hold on, try this. Oh my! It's making me upload a photo of myself. No, we're fucking not doing that. Sorry. Anyway, I reset my shit and it all reset. But it's gonna be a new segment of the show called the comment section, kind of like with Brett Cooper, except for that we just look at the comment section of people like old Brinley Hollyhand, and we just see what their own audiences say about them. So that'll be next time on the show, because again, fucking having to reset my computer completely fucked this for some reason. And I have no idea why. Let's see. What if I log out completely? Nah, that's not gonna work. All right, we got to skip it, unfortunately. All right, don't worry. That'll be on future shows. Technical difficulties tonight. All right, next we're going to
CIA.
The hell was that? Just had Megyn Kelly screaming at me in my ears. Let's see. Okay, next we're going to look at maybe the funniest thing I've ever seen come out of congressmen. And if you guys haven't seen this, Thomas Massie, this is amazing. Thomas Massie was approached by a Fox News reporter and was questioned about his relationship or whatever that thing was that they tried to smear him with. And Thomas Massie turned it around on the reporter in the most hilarious way ever. I know some of you guys have seen this, but for those of you who have not seen this, it is some of the best comedy you're gonna find. All right, so let's kick this off. God damn it! It's fucking my computer tonight is fucking crazy. Okay, I think we got it now. All right, here we go. There we go. All right, let's watch this. Let's watch this together. It's Thomas Massie. There's two clips. There's two different camera angles, okay? There's this reporter's camera angle, and then there's Thomas Massie's camera angle. We're going to watch both of them. Let's watch this one first.
To clear up the stuff your ex is saying about you with the NDA, that you pressured her to sign an NDA for wrongful termination. What is that true, what she's saying about you?
Who are you with?
With Fox Digital.
It's all false.
And what she said about you and Boebert having an intimate relationship?
It's all false.
Why do you think she's out there saying it? Was it because of the primary, ahead of the primary? What do you think is motivating it?
When did you all become a tabloid? Seriously, dude.
Just wait for it. Here we go.
No, I just thought I would give you a chance to respond because you've never been able to tell your side of the story. That's all. But anything you could say.
So let me ask you. I heard that you like gay porn. Is that true?
I just want to give you a chance. Your side of it. That's no, I'm not going to get into that.
Are you a real news
I'm not
organization?
going to get into that. No.
Come back, man.
I'm not. Of course I don't. Of course I don't like you. But thank you.
That's not what I heard.
Thank you for your time. Just giving you a chance to respond. That's all.
You're with Fox?
But thank you.
Now Massie's following him. Well, okay, now the best part is we've got the clip from Thomas Massie's camera angle. Watch this.
So let me ask you. I heard that you like gay porn. Is that true?
I'm not. I just want to give you a chance. Your side.
I'm giving you a
of it.
chance to give me your side.
I'm not going to get into
Are
that.
you a real news organization? No, come back, man. All you got to say is you don't like it. But you haven't been to those websites.
Of course I
All
don't.
right.
Of course I don't like it.
Really?
But thank you.
That's not what I heard.
Just giving you a chance to respond. That's all.
I love how he's following him now.
But
Fox?
thank you.
Is that a real news organization?
Yep.
Is this what you do for a living, man?
Congressman. Okay. Thank you. Anything you could say.
So that's why Thomas Massie needs to be president. That was how the turntables. Just the funniest thing I've ever seen, where he just pulls the camera up and then just boom, reverse roasts him, and the guy immediately tries to leave. And Thomas Massie just follows him. Oh my God! What a disaster that we lost him, huh? I hope he runs for Congress, or for president, because he's way too valuable. Okay. Next, we're going to get into what's going on with Democrats. A lot of interesting stuff going on with Democrats. We touched on a lot of it. What Republicans had to say. All right, let's kick it off with Anna. Let's kick it off with Anna. Okay, this is hilarious. Anna the goat. Anna posted this. This is Anna posted literally or responded to someone showing that Jared Kushner started following Anna Kasparian on Twitter. And Anna responds, "I am not suicidal." It's just absolutely perfect response by Anna. And also, why is Jared Kushner following Anna Kasparian on Twitter? That's a little odd. All right. Now let's get into this. This is what all the Republicans. Sean Hannity was crying about Lander winning, right? And here's his response of why he thinks he won.
Distill it down, though. Where do you think establishment and incumbent Democratic candidates went wrong here?
I mean, I think a few places. First, people taking money from corporate PACs, from Wall Street and private equity and crypto and AI and APAC. Voters are done with that. They can see through it. Second, we need to fight harder for working families against Trump, of course, but also for the billionaires and bullies and rigged system that empower him. And we can't be a party that compromises on some people's humanity Democratic voters are saying loud and clear they don't want to pay for any more of Netanyahu's wars, and they need that change in the party.
So we're supposed to not like that. Republicans are telling us we're supposed to not like that. I don't know. It's a tough sell. And here's who he ran against, right? Dan Goldman taking $1 million from AIPAC. As you can see, rejected. So are we shocked that this is what we love to see? We love to see these big boy AIPAC candidates getting blown out of the water. It doesn't matter what side, Republican or Democrat. This is a win. This is a win. Okay. Now, here's one of the big attacks they're trying to unleash on Graham Plattner. Graham Plattner, look at this headline. This is horrible. Right? Oh my God. Look how they frame this. Carl Higbee. Oof, just a absolute fucking standard in journalism here. It says, ladies and gentlemen, the Democrat nominee for Senate in Maine by 74%. I mean, this is horrible. How could he say this? Graham said, I would R them to show them that I'm dominant. Well, I mean, that seems horrible, right? That seems horrible, right, guys? Well, what's the context? What's the context to the statement? The context to the statement that he just didn't include there is that Graham Plattner was making that statement as a joke about if someone broke into his home and tried to kill him and his family. Now, when you relook at this with the context of him making a joke about someone breaking into his home trying to kill him and his family, a home invader, oh, now it's actually pretty funny, right? And it even says over here, they put it in the tiny little stuff over here, right? By saying, Lindsay recalls Plattner saying he would R the home invaders, intruders, to show them who's dominant. Okay. So who cares? Right? When you put the context, you're like, oh, this dude's based. Right? The second you add the context to the statement, you're like, oh, he's based. Yeah, home invader? Yeah, break into my house, dude. Getting R'd is the least of your worries if you break into my home. Shit's going to get way, way weirder than that. I can promise you that. All right? Oh, well, yeah. So this is the type of guy who obviously, if someone broke into his home, he wouldn't be able to protect his wife and kids to begin with, right? He would be getting raped. This is the guy who would be getting raped, right? Home invader, you coming to my home where my wife and kids are, homie? Oh, it's going to get a lot weirder than that. A lot weirder than that. I promise you that. All right. Now, check this out. It says, 3 out of 3 Mamdani-backed candidates won their Democrat primaries tonight. Yes, all of the anti-Zionist candidates blew out their opponents in New York. It says, face it, this is his party now. And then somebody said, I almost like to hate tweet, because yes, this was actually, again, a hate tweet against Mamdani. Now, we got some interesting stuff going on. Here is Cory Booker, and Rabbi Shmuley, yes, dildo rabbi, says this. Booker unloads on Trump and Bibi, 2 criminals, leading nations. And old Shmuley says, Cory Booker has become an anti-Israel hater and has utterly lost his way. Has he? Has he, though? Has he? Because last time I checked, I don't know. I feel like old Booker here is one of the Zios who's taken a ton of money from AIPAC. Yes, you can't fool us. You can't fool us. I know what you're trying to do here, but no, sorry, Mr. Booker. But you are not good either. And who else? Oh, his counterpart. Yeah, Hakeem Jeffries. What did he say? America's ready for a black president again. That's why I might run in 2028. Hakeem Jeffries. I have no problem with a black president, but which one is it going to be? Is it going to be this one? Is it going to be this black president? I don't think so, bud, because from what I'm looking at here, you're a fucking problem. You are also a very big problem. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Here's another one. John Fetterman says, if you have such contempt for Israel, I mean, of course, you're also anti-American. Oh, okay. I'm not sure how this works. I didn't realize these two were, if you hated one, then you automatically hated America. I didn't know that. But, well, I guess now we know. So at least Democrats got that guy. I mean, it's been a rough week for the Zio Democrats. All right, check this one out. One of the Kennedys. Yes, one of the Kennedys. Have you seen this clip? Jack Schlossberg, but he's actually...
We vote for you. We got to get money out of politics. I do not have a super PAC, a corporate PAC, and I don't take money from AI companies. We will never have no kings as long as billionaires can buy elections.
Can you say free Palestine?
What? I'm not going to say.
Wait, why can't you say free Palestine?
Because that's not what we're here for.
So what are we here for? Can you say fuck Israel, Jack?
No way, dude.
Wait, but you just said you get... Well, fuck Israel. No, do you like Zionism?
We're not talking about that right now.
So what are we talking about? You said no kings. Oh, come on. Okay, Jack, this is where you... So we're trying to get Jack elected.
Okay. Now, that's out of control, but he obviously got real scared when we started talking about AIPAC, but check this out. After that clip that we just watched, JFK's grandson, Jack Schlossberg, finishes in distant third in the New York congressional race. Yes, that clip literally destroyed his entire race, and he ended up losing. All from that clip. That one clip absolutely wrecked him. Sad days, huh? Again, rough days. Okay, we got one more section of the show, and we all know what it is. Good thing we put it at the end, huh? Let's check this out. This is a poll of amongst 18 to 31-year-olds in the Western world, right? Countries with the most unfavorable views of our greatest ally. Who do we think they're going to be? Before I show you this, who's going to be number one? Who do you think is going to have the highest unfavorability rating of any country? What do you guys think? Anybody got some guesses? Throw your guesses in here, okay? And we'll find out. I already know who the most based country is. Most people on the channel are going to know that. You're not going to be shocked when you see it. Let's go through the numbers. Okay, number 7, Hungary, coming in at 72%. Again, countries with the most unfavorable views, right? USA, 74%. Woo! That's pretty high. That's not great for our greatest ally, huh? Next is France, 74%. Pretty good. Greece, 76%. Who'd have thought it? Canada, 76% of Canadians. Wow. The UK, 78%. And again, here comes the winner. Everybody should have already known it because they're the most based ever. Yes, the Aussies at nearly 90%. 90% unfavorability. Yes, the Aussies, and that's why I love the Aussies. They've always had it figured out. But I mean, God, yeah. I mean, when you look at it this way, right, you actually look at those numbers going into the future. And again, these were obviously the Western world. But yeah, oof, pretty rough. Hold on a second here. Why is these not loading? Oh, I wanted to show you this one first, guys, before we get into our greatest ally. We talked about this last week. I wanted to show you this. So these are I told you this about the Albanians who are just super based. When Kushner and Ivanka Trump were trying to develop their, however many billion-dollar island, new Jeffrey Epstein Island that they're starting, the Albanians said no. And they are trying to build it. And this is the Albanians just going and just shoving shipping containers off of the mountain. Just tearing down everything. Yep, that's all the construction site for the Kushner stuff. All the construction site for the Kushner stuff. Yeah. God, we are just pussies here in the United States, aren't we? All of us. Like, the Albanians are there literally tearing down and destroying anything the Kushners try to put up. They just said, no, you can't fucking come here. And if you try, we're going to destroy your shit. And they went out and destroyed their shit. And now they're going to have to give up on it. I mean, you see that and you're just like, God, we could be doing that, by the way. Like, we could be not letting, corruption and all these things happen, but we're just like, nah, whatever. Whatever. Where's another one? This is a great clip. Check this clip out. So this guy in the car tries to throw a cup of coffee at a car that has a Palestinian flag on it. So watch this. We'll turn the sound off here real quick. Watch this. Watch as he tries to throw it. And here we go. And just blasts himself. Oh, that's good. Oh, whoopsies. Turns out there's wind. And that didn't work out very well, right? Okay. Let's see. Where's the next one here? Oh, if you want to know what we're up to next, yeah, check this out. So, our greatest ally is now saying, we will wage war on Syria sooner rather than later, because it and Turkey pose far more concerning issues than Iran. They just can't stop. They cannot stop. They cannot stop, guys. I don't know what it is. Why can't they stop? It's like they just, I don't know. It's maybe because we need to stop funding them. But here, check this out. Bibi said this. Bibi announces our greatest ally will free itself from external dependence. He says, I deeply appreciate the support received from the U.S., but we need our own independent armament system. Now, why is he actually saying that? Why is he actually saying that? Is it because we're going to actually cut them off? No, it's because due to what's happening in Congress now, we're trying to integrate our military with theirs so that they don't have to be funded by us. There is no external funding. They will just be on the umbrella of the U.S. military, and they will automatically be able to have access to our armaments. They're clever, aren't they? And then guess what? They don't ever have to show that we sent any money to them because it's in the Pentagon's budget. And if it's in the Pentagon's budget, nobody gets to see where that money is going. Clever, clever. They're getting clever. They're getting clever. Oh, and here was Bibi. If you didn't believe the defense minister, let's see what he said. Bibi said to Trump, Turkey is as dangerous as Iran. We should attack them. Trump responded, you don't even know how big Turkey is militarily. I couldn't even save you from them. Yeah, Turkey has the most powerful military by far in the entire Middle East, by the way. And our greatest ally is now already saying that we need to attack them. They're far stronger than Iran. And now we got to attack. So what they're calling for now is that we attack Egypt, Turkey, and Syria on top of Iran. That's what they're telling us that we need to do. Like, can we stop? Can we just stop, please? Yeah, they are in NATO, right? But of course, what is Donald Trump talking about doing? Oh, that's right. Leaving NATO, right? Because if we can leave NATO, then we can attack Turkey. Right? I told you guys, those of you guys that are regulars on my channel, did I not tell you like 2 months ago? Was it not 2 months ago when I said that the United States will attempt to leave NATO that way that we can go to war with Turkey on behalf of our greatest ally? I said that like 2-3 months ago that's what was coming next. And now that's what they're just started talking about this week. I'd love to think that I'm Nostradamus, but it's just the most obvious thing. If you really follow the Middle East and geopolitical conflict, and I'm not saying it's obvious to the regular person, but we see it now, right? We see it now. And it's all part of their project. It's all part of their project. So, all right, we did it. We made it. We made it to the end, guys. 2 hours. That's about the perfect spot in the show. Try to keep it about 2 hours for the first part of the show. So, thank you so much. I feel like I had announcements to make. What announcements did I have to make? I should have made them at the start of the show. I did have an announcement. What was it? I don't remember. But anyway, we are now going to move into the second part of the show, which is the super chats. If you guys typically only stay for the first part of the show, typically the second part of the show is the funnier part of the show, as we do have a hilarious audience, and it's usually the comedy super chat portion. So if you're interested in that, stick with us. Yeah, Mochi is home and safe. Yeah, so Mochi, that's our new little kitty. She's just so tiny right now, guys. Again, we brought her home the day that she's allowed to be brought home. So she is like a baby kitten. And so she's awesome cat so far, but we don't want to scare her and bring her all the way out into it. She's basically secluded in one of the rooms with all her cat stuff with my daughter. And so we don't want to bring her out here yet as a little baby because she's going to get really scared. But don't worry, we will have her on the show. Yeah, she's about 8. She's about 8.5 weeks old right now. So in probably about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, we'll bring her on the show and show her to you guys. She's a cute kitty. She's Munchkin's sister, actually. Same parents as Munchkin. So anyway, that we will have coming soon. Don't worry. Again, I know I'm not trying to hold her from you. She's neither. She is a Scottish fold. So Munchkin is a Scottish straight with Munchkin legs. This is Munchkin's sister, who has the same mom, different dads. No, Munchkin does not like her yet. Munchkin, no. Munchkin is not into it yet. But again, cats can take a while for them to get used to each other. But yeah, Munchkin came to see her, and first time I've ever heard Munchkin hiss. Like, Munchkin has never hissed. She's not a vocal cat. She barely meows. And Munchkin was dropping some hisses, but she's getting better. She's been checking on her and things like that, and it's getting a little bit better. So, but yeah. Anyway, guys, that'll be coming soon. I did have another announcement. I'm sure I'll remember it. Again, maybe looking at. I don't know. I don't remember. I'll remember at some point. Anyway, was it this Friday? No, we'll have a show this Friday. So that wasn't it. Anyway, whatever. Sorry, guys. All right, let's move on to the super chats and keep it moving, guys. All right. So thank you all so much for sticking around for the regular scheduled show. Let's hit it. Let's hit the fun part. All right. Helga says, and it's a gorgeous golden retriever here. Wow, and I thought I was dumb. Carolyn Levitt makes me feel smart. Well, if you understand how percentages work, you are one step ahead of Carolyn Levitt, it turns out. I don't think so here's the thing. I don't think Carolyn Levitt really understands how numbers work in general, right? Because she's 27, 28, and her husband is 63. Fucking gross. I mean, whatever you're into. But yeah, I don't think she understands numbers very well. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe she doesn't know numbers, right? I think maybe what it was is, she's MAGA, so her parents probably felt like Arabic numerals sounded like something she shouldn't learn, because they're Arabic. And so maybe she just doesn't understand numbers. You know what I mean? I don't know. That would be my guess. All right, God's Country says we got to keep that unemployment number down so more people can pay taxes. Got to send that money to our greatest ally. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Bro, there's crackling. Don't ban me. No, you're good. You're good, Dee. Appreciate you, brother. There was actually. Yeah, we just had to restart the computer. Software sometimes. Cable, big dog. Nah. So the reason why I know when you guys say, typically I'm on the lookout when you say like mute or audio is bad. If you say crackling, I know it's actually probably true because that is an issue that I have dealt with forever. And it stems from the bit rate of my audio equipment. And for some, it's got to be set at 512. And for some reason it got changed down to like the 100s. And when that happens, it causes the crackling in the mic. So luckily I was able to see that and switch it, but we're good now. What are your thoughts on the Crusades and the Knight Templar? Was it a good cause, or did the Crusades are interesting, right? So a lot of the Crusades was because and there's a lot of back and forth on this, saying it was because, you know, the Ottoman Empire and the Islamic world kept raiding into Europe, which is true. But you also had the Vikings doing that too. And so the Crusades kind of were more of in self-defense, as far as historically I understand it. But how accurate is that? I'm not really sure, right? So it's one of those things, like history is kind of written by the victors. So tough to know what really happened. You know what I mean? But, you know, everybody was raiding everybody in the 9th century, right? So that was just kind of how everything worked, right? You had the Germanic hordes, you had the Vikings, you had Europe, you had Rome, you had, you know, the Islamic world and the Islamic empires. So, yeah, I don't know. Hard to say. Right, hard to say. And it's also like how accurate is history? We don't even, like, we're learning that World War II probably wasn't even historically accurate. That's in our history books. So how accurate was history 1,000 years ago? Well, probably tough to tell at this point. Daily struggles of an 18E, constantly fucking up comms. Man, you are 100% right. This was what you guys just saw me deal with tonight on the night stream. That was like half my job in Army Special Forces, was trying to unfuck communications and technology. So he's not wrong. TJ, thank you. Sounds like you're a Coke can. Yeah, we got it. All right. Can I just get some crack? If we could get Hunter Biden on the show. Sounds like you're using a microphone on your PC. Yeah. I didn't see that StreamYard switched it. All right. Yeah. We got it. Thank you guys. Sound better now. Thank you. Make crack great again. Sound like your computer mic. Yeah. All right. Got it. Thank you guys. We're moving through these. My wife says it's fine. Your voice relaxes her and she likes your tattoos. Well, I do get that a lot. I do have a lot of people that say I have a radio voice. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but people do say that a lot. I get that comment a lot. All the issues arising after you talk smack about Shapiro. That's kind of interesting. We haven't had technical difficulties on the show in like 3 months, and we just got hammered with them tonight. Love the good enough isn't good enough attitude. Yep. You having luck like Trump? Yeah, I know. Only issues when you tell the truth, bro. Yeah, that's kind of funny. That is actually pretty common on the show. It seems like the only time we have technical difficulties is when we're talking about something sketchy, but we talk about sketchy stuff pretty often too. Mimi says, recently found you, 65-year-old black lifelong Democrat, but no more. As I understand, they are now the same as Republicans. When are we going to the streets? I'll lead the way. Yeah, I mean, we got a diverse audience here, guys. And I mean, most of the audience is independent, even left and right. So we got a lot of former Democrats and a lot of former Republicans on the show. And I think it's mainly just because everybody is so disillusioned with politics. Both sides are so shitty. It's really hard to be a hardline supporter of the right or the left as a party, Republicans or Democrats. So I think just so many people in America are just tired of it, man. We're just tired of the division. We're tired of the fucking country just getting worse and worse. We're tired of all our money going to foreign countries. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, most people agree on all of these things. We're tired of gas prices being out of control. We're tired of shitty economy. We're tired of a housing market that doesn't work for anybody but the rich. Like, everybody is tired of these things, you know? And so if we could ever find a way, you know, to like a third party, but again, they'll never let a third party happen. What would it be? I don't know. But again, I just think there's so many of us are in the same boat, right? Regardless of where we came from politically, we're just all frustrated and tired of the bullshit. No Man says, my cousin used to sell pagers in, oh God, he just opened up an electronics store here. He said he'll send you a free mic with a serious boom. I'll pass on that one. Thank you very much. Tell him I appreciate the offer, but no, I will not be receiving any microphones from our greatest ally, right? We saw what happened with potentially Charlie Kirk's microphone, so I'm good. Thank you. Anyway, that's the announcement. This is how it works, guys, right? somebody is going to put in a funny comment. I make a funny comment back about Charlie Kirk. And then I remember that was the big announcement. So the announcement is, of course, that, guys, next week, I believe starting on the 6th, the Charlie Kirk pre-hearing evidence trial, which is the big one, right? This is where we're going to see all the evidence that the prosecution actually has, if they have all the craziest shit they keep saying they have that we've never seen. That is all coming next week. I believe it's the 6th through the 10th, and we will be live streaming the trial from start to finish every day. So if you want a place to come to watch the trial, and I'll probably have guests on too. We're trying to get JD Delay on, but his account's banned again for 2 weeks because he's always banned. He's trying to get it unbanned right now. But I'll probably do content with other guys, here and there, probably like Jesse or Barron or different guys. And yes, we are planning on covering that from all day long. It'll probably be like 8-hour streams every day. So if you want a place to, it's going to be wild. This is it. Like, this is the big one, right? Where we know shit, get to see if they've got everything or they got nothing. And it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. So yeah, that was the big announcement, is that we will be live streaming the Charlie Kirk trial from start to finish the entire time. And then I'll try to, at the end of the day, do like a roll-up video to where we do like all the biggest things and like a 10-20 minute video. Put that out the next morning so you can watch that if you don't have time to watch an 8-hour stream. But for those of you who are going to be able to watch it, let's make this the channel to watch it together, right? So anyway, and yeah, I'm sure we'll have all the dudes in the space coming in and coming on, and we'll be doing content together and stuff like that. So it should be a fun one. All right. JD, he got popped for a random short where he did a clip reacting to this guy who I don't even remember. Basically nothing, but he got a 2-week ban for it. He's always getting banned. It's insane. He constantly gets popped. But yeah, anyway, that was the announcement. All right. And I'll talk about it again on the next couple of shows. So if you want a place to watch the trial together, this will be the place. All right. So it should be cool. All right, let's keep it moving. Need yourself some EW protection? I do. A few shekels for the fun. The boomers will chip in the rest. Yeah, I appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I definitely do. And speaking of which, Uncle BB, friend of the show, says, my Mossad agents were messing with your audio because you didn't start with the greatest ally segment first. I apologize, Mr. BB. It will not happen again. That will not happen again. But thank you. Thank you for the generous donations. All right, Jensen's. Oh, my God. Look at this dog. Look how cute this dog is. It looks like a little baby Cocker Spaniel. Says, thanks for always sharing the real news to pay attention to and giving independence a home. My fave thing about this channel, it's not an echo chamber. We don't always agree with you or each other. Very true. But we all agree these idiots are fucking us in the country. 100%. 100%. That's the thing about being as independents, and we're kind of all over the place from, progressive independence, liberal independence, right-wing independence, conservative independence. We're not going to agree on everything, right? But we try to do it respectfully. As long as we're respectful to each other, we can disagree and still have a good community, which we do here. Graham Bear says the boomer sold us out. No ethics. Fortunately true. That doesn't mean all boomers, guys. Not all boomers are bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying as a generation, right? Don't take it personally. If you were to talk shit about millennials as a generation, and it's true, I'd go, yeah, you're right about these things, right? I'm just saying as a generation. Brittany says, I'm going to also thank you for Jens for the very generous super chat here. And Brittany, you as well. Thank you. Says, I'm going to propose a challenge, Nate. What boomers, meaning is it an 18-year span 1946 boomers, who are the ones that have the most wealth, have very little in common with the 1964 boomers, who usually tend to be paycheck to paycheck? Very, very true. It's the Donald Trump era 70 to 85 year old boomers, right? That demographic that has all the wealth. When you get into like later stages or like early stager or early boomers and Gen X, it starts to become much, much different. If you didn't know this, Gen X is the first generation that is poorer than their parents. That's never happened before, like in human history, that the generation after a generation ended up poorer than the generation before them. It's never happened. Boomers are the only ones that done it. And not only that, Gen X is poor, millennials are poor, Gen Z is poor, and Gen Alpha are poor. You have 4 generations poorer than a generation 3 or 4 generations back. That's not how anything works. That's not how humanity is supposed to work. It's never worked that way. So that's why that's a fucking problem. You know what I mean? That's a problem. It's never worked this way before. Joe Green says, please explain Section 224 integration of our defense technologies with our greatest ally. How F are we going to scale from? So here's what it's going to do. So Section 224 is the intelligence apparatus integration. And then there's a Senate bill, Section 682. It's 6 something. I might be a little bit off. There's 2 separate ones, okay? The one in the House is Section 224, and that's trying to integrate our intelligence apparatuses together, right? So what we would basically do, and not only that, but also in partly in the military and arms funding and things like that. So there's a bunch of different pieces to it. But the entire idea by Section 224 is to, again, take away having to fund Israel directly by Congress going, here's $4 billion that everybody can see. So instead of doing that, you actually put the IDF and the Israeli intel apparatuses under America, under the Pentagon, and that way they're freely funded by the United States and they don't have to cut a check. It's just coming out of the Pentagon's budget. The Pentagon doesn't have to fucking show you shit. And keep in mind, the Pentagon has been audited, 8 times? And they've failed every single audit. They've never passed an audit. So by doing this, nobody will have any idea how much money, where that money's going, what it's going to. There'll be no oversight for it. So how effed are we? Big time. We will never be able to untangle that can of worms, most likely, once it's tangled. And then the Senate bill is designed to merge our militaries together. So whatever that means, right? But yeah, it's not good. It's not good. They're trying to shove it through regardless. And again, Thomas Massie put forward a clause to remove Section 224 from the bill, and it was voted down by the House. The House said, no, we're going to integrate these. So it's going to pass. It's going to pass. I know a lot of us are like, this is crazy. There's no way this will pass. No, it's going to pass. It's going to pass the House and it's going to pass the Senate. It's going to fucking happen. It's going to happen. It's gross, man. It's gross. Except for Uncle BB will love it. Says, if you just say that you love and support AIPAC, you won't have any more audio issues. Well, we already fixed them, BB. Good try. Mariah says, hey, Nate, thanks for being a voice for truth that holds a certain frequency. I find your show comforting for that reason. Blessings to you and all those fighting back against the darkness. Well, thank you, Mariah. I appreciate it. I think the thing about my show, I don't get everything right. My opinions aren't always right. I'm wrong sometimes, and that's fine. The thing about my show is that you don't have to worry about it being my own thoughts or beliefs. Like if you watch Officer Tatum or if you watch Benny Johnson, they're part of Salem Media Group. You know that they're getting told their scripts by Salem Media Group, right? Their Zionist shill talking points. You're never getting their real opinions. Ben Shapiro, all these people. For me, I'm just me. I'm just me, a camera. I have nobody here. I do all my own editing. So my opinion might be dumb, but at least you know it's coming from my brain, not because somebody fucking told me what to say, which is what allows me to be so kind of fluid back and forth between agreeing with the left, agreeing with the right, etc. So again, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but at least you don't have to worry about some fucking company or foreign country paying me to talk. Hardway says, Boomer here. I'm a professional level experienced asshole with a hide like a rhinoceros, as if I give a giant rat patootie that you silly little puddles don't love mommy and daddy, grandpa and grandpa. Well, that's fine, buddy, because your kids probably don't love you either. So you got that going for you. If that's the way you if that's the way you approach it and you're cool with that, then that's fine. That's fine. You're free to, that's how most boomers, like that's exactly how we think most boomers think in their brain. So that's all good, man. That's all good. You know what I mean? If you don't care about your kids and your grandkids, then you do you, homie. I'm not telling you you have to. That's your own choice. But there ain't going to be nobody by your bedside when you die. I promise you that. You'll be on your own. Oof, that's going to be a rough, lonely time in the hospital bed, right? All right, LOL, actual nuclear engineering student here. Nukes are definitely real. Yeah, for sure. Baby, stop messing with Nate's audio. We're good now. Thank you, Katie. John says, if you don't believe there's nukes, you should just see your way out if you're able to. Thank you, John. Bobby says, I can neither confirm nor deny nukes are real, but you don't secure a naval base prior to deployment because we are loading ice cream. For fuck's sake, civilians are so gullible. Yeah, that I never understood the nukes are a conspiracy because, again, North Korea exists, but whatever. Did you see the size of the recent? I did see this. I had multiple clips I was going to show on the show, but those are sketchy ones to get your stream pulled down if you show them. Jesse on fire. My buddy Jesse asked me about that. Go watch his. I don't know if he included the stuff I told him about it, but did you guys did you guys all see it? Did you see the recent explosions in Lebanon? Massive. Yeah, so trying to think about how I can really talk about it, my opinions on it. So a lot of people have been asking me, like, what was it? What was that was what was dropped, right? On what was the munition that was dropped to create such a huge explosion? There's a couple options here. You could have had like a couple GBU 31s, which is a 2,000 pound JDAM at some of our bigger bombs. Then I don't know if that would have made explosions that big. That explosion looked like it wasn't a nuke. Definitely wasn't a nuke. It looked potentially like a Moab, right? Which is the mother of all bombs. GBU, what is it? A GBU 51? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I believe it's a 22,000 pound bomb. Somebody fact check me on that. GBU, I think GBU 51, it's around 21,000 pounds, 22,000 pounds. Somebody fact check me. But it's gigantic, right? It's GBU 57. There we go. It's close. So there's possible in that, but here's the problem. Here is the problem. Israel doesn't have the ability to deploy a Moab. They don't have the aircraft that can carry it. So, and this is why I want to be careful with what I talk about, because they really don't want us. GBU 57, 21,000 pounds. I was close. I had the weight right. I was off a couple numbers. There's, guys, we thought GBU dash, there's like fucking 20 different munitions. So that was off the top of my brain. Close, pretty good for off the top of my brain, right? But Israel doesn't have the ability to deploy that. So what does that mean? What does it mean if that's what was deployed? That's what that means. And that is, that's why I'm not going to talk about it deeper, guys, right? Because that type of thing could, talking about that type of thing could get me in big, big trouble if that turns out to be true. So that's why we'll allude to it here a little bit, kind of explain that. But yeah, it was either, multiple, GBU 31s or potentially something like that. But if it was that wasn't Israel that dropped it. That was us. So C-130 can't carry a Moab. So a Moab is almost as big as an AC-130. We drop Moabs out of B-52s and B-2s. Yeah, they're huge. This thing is the size of a plane. It's a 21,000 pound bomb. It's massive. Right? It's absolutely massive. So, but no. We talked about it. They've been trying to get them. They've been asking us for earlier versions, but we haven't given them any yet. There was a congressional bill that they put forward to try to give them some. That was back in the 12-day war, right? So, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get too deep into that one because it could get a little sketchy, but hopefully that gives you a little context of like, oh, that looks a little maybe not good for America. But that's why, and when you see something like that and you see it get zero media coverage, and then I explain a little bit of that to you, you go, oh, that's probably why the media is not covering that story at all, right? All right. Trump tards have DDS, Trump delusional syndrome. Yeah. Trump deranged, or what is it? There's Trump devotion syndrome is another one I like. I like Trump devotion syndrome because that's kind of what it is at this point. With the current world situation, we'd love a live show with you and some Military Buds. Jake, Aaron, Brent, thanks for all you do. Love you, brother. Yeah, I mean, we could probably get something like that going again. We're kind of like died off right now in the conflict because it's the week, like the weekdays. And so we're back to peace because it's yesterday we were back to peace because it was Monday. So if it kicks back off, we could probably do that. Trump, friend of the show. Yeah, I doubt it. I know he doesn't know who I am, but he wouldn't like me probably. Trump can conduct strikes in Mexico against the cartels as a way to prove his popularity. I'm shocked that he doesn't. Because that's an easy win. It's something I support. I support combating the cartels. I always have. I don't support pulling. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about ICE. I'm not talking about pulling grandmas out of food trucks, right? Not that. I'm talking about actually targeting, actual drug smuggling cartels and not like blowing up fishermen in Venezuela boats. I mean, actually going after cartels. That I've always approved of that. But we're not doing that. Of course, we're not doing that because that would be something that's beneficial for the United States. And we're not going to do anything that's beneficial for the United States. We're going to go bomb Iran instead. So, okay. Healy says, good day, Nate. Hope you're well, mate. Last time I super chatted your stream got nuked. Thoughts on Colonel Davis and Lieutenant McGregor? Colonel Davis. I know Lieutenant McGregor. I don't know him personally, but I do like him. I like his the stuff I've seen out of him. I don't know Colonel Davis. Do I? I'm sure I do, actually. Colonel Davis. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. Oh, I was thinking you're talking about, are you talking about Medal of Honor recipient Colonel Davis, Green Beret? I thought you were talking, he said this is somebody in the social media space. Social media space. That's a little bit different. Oh, okay. My bad. I mean, what do you mean my thoughts? I think all of the Vietnam era Medal of Honor winning Green Berets are absolute savages. So all of them are. I've met a couple. All right, let's keep moving. AJ said these idiotic passports might be worth a lot in the future, like coin money misprints, but worse. Yeah, maybe as collector items 50 years from now. You might be right, AJ. Joe says, Trump says a lot. You know about that, right? It's some weird Sith Lord trick. I just wish once someone would say to his face, I know you just pulled that out of your ass, Donnie, just saying. He does do that all the time. You're right. He'll say something that's made up, and then he'll say, you know about that, right? That actually is a very clever trick when talking to people, because it makes them, like to your Joe's point, it makes them think through their brain, oh, this is true. Have I heard about it? Well, I don't want to look dumb because I haven't heard about this. So I need to say, yes, I've heard about it. So I sound smart, right? Yeah, it is a little bit of a Sith trick. You're right. That's a good catch, Joe. I hadn't caught that one before. Please comment on the Natalie Harp and Trump relationship story. Secret Service has flagged her as a danger to herself and others. Absolute 10 of 10 cult shit. I've seen that on, I've seen it on Twitter. I don't know enough about it yet. Like what the hell is actually going on there? But I have seen this. I saw it today when I was like looking through Twitter on stuff, or X, sorry, whatever. But yeah, it seems weird, but I don't know enough about the story yet. So I'm still looking into that one, but yeah. Just wait until you hear about the trackers they have in the code for the passport, health, and food websites being rolled out. Watch your data. Folks, yeah, this is something you should consider for sure. Happy Father's Day. Thank you. A little late, but appreciate it. Now I understand DT's attraction to Brigitte. Oh, Jesus Christ. DT says, word is if that Trump's aide is responsible for most of the insane stuff we're seeing. Okay, this is the story. Yeah. She wrote him saying a note, I love you. I got surgery to look more like Ivanka, and it gets worse. So this is the story I was just talking about, guys. In the previous comment here. Again, I've seen this. It's fucking weird. I would assume he's probably having an affair with her or was having an affair with her. I don't know, right? Off the top of my head, I would assume that's the case, and that's why we're getting bizarre shit like this. So she may find herself missing if she doesn't shut the fuck up real soon, if you know what I mean. But again, I don't know enough about it, so that's just hearsay for me at the moment until I get more to it. Fidel Castro / this one, yeah, this one. Justin Trudeau is definitely Castro's kid. Definitely Castro's kid. They look exactly the same. Like young Castro looks exactly, and not only that, but Castro's mom, or excuse me, Trudeau's mom used to go and visit Castro all the time. So this one's not a conspiracy. That one's like for sure. For sure. The Gabagoo. Nate, my first SC, you always teach me so much. Thanks, Nate. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Cindy. Josh Pickle found out today Nate apparently hates Italians. I don't hate Italians. I'm just not Italian. So if you say I'm Italian, I'm going to say that's objectively incorrect. Again, my last name is Italian. Cornacchia is an Italian last name, but that's because my dad's dad was adopted by an Italian family. So he has the last name, but that's not what we are. Obviously, I do not look Italian at all. I have a little bit of a tan right now because it's sunny out, but no, I'm very, very Scandinavian. I'm fucking giant with a giant beard and white as shit. So I don't know what to tell you. If you haven't been able to look at me and be like, that dude's probably from Norway or Sweden, then I don't know what to tell you. The amount of makeup necessary for Waters Vance to be on camera together had an immeasurable impact on global warming. Yeah, there's a lot of eyeliner in that combo, huh? For sure. At this point, you could plagiarize a funny mustache man and win. Yeah, true, actually. Yeah, if you use those talking points. Joe says, so how many impeachments does it take to remove a POTUS? I don't know, dude. One good one. I mean, our current has already been impeached twice. The third time is a charm. Just saying, yeah. I mean, it's coming. It's definitely coming after the midterms. I don't see any way that it's not. I mean, unless somehow Republicans maintain control of the House and Senate, which I would be shocked, absolutely shocked if that was the case. But yeah, it's definitely coming. Will it be just another show impeachment where they don't get enough votes? I don't know. I honestly don't know. It probably depends on how bad the midterms are. If the midterms are a massive, absolute blowout, they might have there might be enough Republicans who are like, yeah, this guy's got to go too. And they might feel confident because he's a lame duck president now and they're not worried about their own jobs in the midterms that they might actually do it. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll see what type of stranglehold he has on the party after the midterms. They're just serving hot dogs and burgers. Sorry if there's no funnel cake. That ain't a fair. That's a damn disgrace. Do you guys like funnel cakes? Man, Katie, I love fair food. But I do not like elephant ears and funnel cakes. I think it all stems back to when I was a kid. We used to always go to the county fair because my dad was the county commissioner. So we were always there, like campaigning and shit like that. And I remember as a little kid, I ate like an entire elephant ear and I went on the zipper. Do you guys know what the zipper is? I'm sure it's the same fair rides across the country. I went on the zipper and got crazy sick and ended up throwing the entire thing up. And after that, I've never been able to touch the fair funnel cakes and elephant ears. They smell great, but I can't eat them. Can't eat them. I'm a fair corn dog guy. I love the fair corn dogs though. Truth Brazil says the carnival and fireworks show my city puts on yearly had double the people than Trump's Israel Day fair. MAGA couldn't be any more unalive. Yeah, they had about 1,000 people there. Not bad. Where's Cocaine Mitch? Turtle Watch Day 15. We didn't talk about this on the show, Neil, and I actually forgot. I did have a clip for it, but I must have forgot to put it up. Yeah, Mitch McConnell has been in the hospital for 2 weeks, and he's probably not going to make it. And he's somehow still voting on bills. I don't know. I don't know where he is, but if you've seen that dude, we've shown clips of him multiple times on the channel. Like, he can't talk. That was like months ago. He couldn't speak, and he can't walk. So... yeah, I don't know. I don't know where the turtle is. I don't know. JD DeLay, Uncle BB says JD DeLay, a friend of our greatest ally. Yeah, not really. That's partly why he keeps getting banned. Susan Collins sounds like a female RFK Jr. She does, actually. I shouldn't laugh at that, but she actually does sound like a female RFK Jr. I didn't even think about that, but you're not wrong. 24 members of Congress are over 80. I wonder if you did over 70, what you would get. Over 65, what's retirement age? 60. What's Social Security age? 66 now? I wonder if you did over 66, over the retirement age, how many it would be. I bet it's in the hundreds. We need a GoFundMe for JD DeLay. He just said BB got him. Yep, they did. They unfortunately did. They got him for 2 weeks. We need Raiders ransom fund for our friend. What you make sure to do is watch his content on other platforms, right? He's really big on Facebook. So if you like JD's content, make sure you follow him on Facebook so that you can still watch his content there. So make sure you do that. Harvest says if they didn't want Dems to win, they shouldn't have fucked the country up, being slaves to our greatest ally, and fight a stupid war. Seems pretty simple, doesn't it? Seems like, here's the thing, if Donald Trump would have actually just done what he campaigned on, well, the Epstein files would have destroyed him. But if the Epstein files weren't there, he'd have a much higher approval rating. But he didn't. And here we are. Nomad says, I can't shop at Walmart, Nebraska because of aggressive African migrants. Even the Mexicans are scared. Commies aren't trying to steal my unaffordable groceries. We got screwed. The USA is gone. In Nebraska? Really? Do you have a big immigration issue in Nebraska? I wouldn't have guessed that. Interesting. I figured, like, who's in Nebraska, dude? I don't know anybody that lives in Nebraska. But I'm not saying you're wrong. I just wouldn't have thought that would have been a place that we would have heard something like that. Slide says, I'm all for providing more social welfare to the American people. Me too. But most benefits go to the poor. I'm middle class, make about $100K a year, and I'm getting screwed. Big taxes, and we get nothing. Now, Slide, this is a great point. One of the biggest problems with America is we pay socialist level taxes, right? Like 30 to 40% of your income, but you get nothing for it. You don't get health care. You don't get education. The roads are shit, right? Infrastructure is shit. What do you get for tax? I can't look at anything in my community or anything around me and be like, I see my tax dollars hard at work. Nothing. I don't see anything. Where do my tax dollars go? And this is you can look at socialist countries, especially in the Scandinavian realm, Norway, Sweden, Finland, etc. They can point to things and go, okay, I pay 40% of my taxes, but I get all of these things. We get nothing. We don't get anything. How do I pay 40% of my income in taxes, but I don't get fucking health care? What? What are my taxes going to? Exactly, Buff. They don't maintain the roads. They don't build bridges. They don't do shit. I don't know where they go. Yeah, and we're still $40 trillion in debt. Where is the money going? It's going to foreign countries. That's a big part of it. It's going to wars. That's a big part of it, right? But that's the big problem is you can't fucking point. And this is why, Democratic socialists are getting more and more popular is because their platform is, hey, if you vote for us, you'll pay about the same in taxes, but you'll get health care, you'll get education, we'll have free buses. You start to hear that and you're like, oh, well, at least that's fucking something tangible that I could see my taxes going to. Yeah, a new ballroom. Good point. I'm sorry. You're right. That is, and this is where it goes. This is really where it goes, right? This is the main place it goes. We know that, but again, it's rough. What's your stance on voting since Thomas Massie? Good question, Nary. I'm obviously pretty black-pilled right now after the Massie election. I hate to do this, but I'm just kind of like, voting doesn't matter because the Thomas Massie election was massive, obviously fucking stolen, right? And the fact they just brazenly did that and just straight in front of all of us with zero cares in the world, they just shoved it in our faces, makes it very, very hard to believe. However, it's really our only option. So we got to hope that for now, that maybe it can do something. You know what I mean? But I think we're all pretty black-pilled at the moment because of that, at least on this channel. I know a lot of my audience is very black-pilled on voting right now because of what happened with Thomas Massie. So we'll see what the midterms look like. You know what I mean? But it sucks, right? Because it's supposed to be like, voting matters, but it doesn't really feel like it does right now. Jen says, speaking of boomers, you either got Bob Dylan dad or a MAGA dad. Yeah, there's no in between. I will not be taking questions this time. You're not wrong. This is pretty much right. I like pretty much every dad I know is one of the two of these for sure. That's funny that you said that. Slide says, if the billionaires actually paid their fair share, then maybe I wouldn't be getting screwed so hard. Having a trillionaire isn't a flex, but a disgrace. I agree. Like the fact that like one person has at one point, now obviously SpaceX is tanked, right? So he's lost a ton of his wealth, but he's close. He's either still close to a trillionaire or still is a trillionaire. One person having 3% of America's wealth. Is that a good thing? Now, a lot of people will say he creates so many jobs and opportunities. Cool. He could do that with $100 billion. He could do that with $50 billion. He could do that with $20 billion. You can't even spend that fucking money. You can't spend $50 billion. There's nothing to spend it on. Legitimately. You couldn't even spend it if you tried. Unless you just were like, I'm just going to buy cities. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? But that wouldn't even make sense. So it's wild, right? That money, and again, how do we, that's part of the problem too, is we have a system where equities, right? Equities as in investments, stocks, things like that. They can hide all their wealth in it, man. And it becomes untaxable because, of course, they're not going to tax it until you sell it. And they're not going to sell it. And the reason why they don't sell it is just they just take loans out against their own equities. Right? So it's tough, man. It's tough. What's the way to solve it? I don't know. And that's the problem. We haven't had anybody really find a good way to work around that. But that's the oligarchy, right? That's the corporate oligarchy. Poor guys' hearts aren't in it anymore. Yeah. Slide says they always say Iran is the state sponsor of terror, but that's also not true. It's just fundamentally and objectively not true. And I can prove it with a simple statement. But all major terrorist groups are largely Sunni Muslim. Yeah, I was going to get into that, but you're already there. And ties to Saudi Arabia, Syria, and Egypt, like the Taliban, Iranian-funded groups are mostly anti-Margaret Saleh, not United States. True. And you know how you know that? And this is why I can just starch any of the Zionist, neocons in a debate. Is all you have to say is name one Shia Islamic terrorist attack in the United States. On the continental United States. Name one. Name one person that's been killed by Iran in the continental United States. You can't. It's zero. It's zero. And so you can't really call a country the world's leading sponsor of the T word when there's been zero. Right? Now, for Sunni Islam, is a big, big difference. Big, big, big difference, right? But what we also know about the Sunni Islamic T-word groups is, well, they were sort of created and funded by a certain somebody. If you didn't know that, shocker. But that's a conversation for another day, right? Conversation for another day. But you're paying attention. Easy girl, don't go Rosie on us. Rosie, I don't know what that is. Behind, just heard about Necessary Pod. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be going on. I'm excited. Really like their show. Massie's the GOAT. Yes, he is, man. Help us, Obi-Wan Massie. You're our only hope. This is so true. It's so true. Man's dog says, hey, Nate, my dog Ernie in my picture is turning 15. Oh, my gosh, on July 13th. He's mostly deaf and blind, but still keeping on. He's the best boy. Just wanted to share some good news. That is good news, man. Fuck. Yeah, America first. Man, that's awesome news. Dude, I love to hear about dogs that live to be super old like that. I'm praying our Rottweiler makes it to at least like 12. I know it's hard, but that's very cool, man. It's very, very cool to see the old doggies that just keep on going, man. So that's very cool, man. It cherished the time, right? Because you don't know how much time you got left. Massie, POTUS, 2028, VP Green. I think this is a great ticket. But we'll see. We'll see. Make it serious for a second. Do you think members of our military who are obviously giving and following illegal orders must be punished? I do. So at the top echelons of this, yeah. This is which is like the Hague trials, right? After World War II with Nazi Germany. Yes, it can't just be Donald Trump, right? It can't just be Pete Hegseth. Yes, they are giving orders that are most likely illegal. However, you as a commander, not the enlisted, no. Do I think the soldiers who are following orders, even if they be illegal? No, because the United States military will ruin your fucking life. And there's nothing you can do about it, right? And soldiers know that. However, officers, the officer corps, it's very, very different, okay? So high-ranking officers have a duty to refuse illegal orders and refuse and delineating those illegal orders down to their enlisted. They have a constitutional duty to do that. And if they don't, they should be held responsible for that. So yeah, I do, actually. Anyone who they can show through investigation, and they should be able to because everything is tracked in the military. Hey, if you are a high-ranking general, I was just following orders and committing war crimes. Nah, dog, that ain't going to be good enough. So yeah, I do. But we got to have investigations and trials and everything like that, right? Got to make sure it's done correctly. So, yeah. Now. It's again, you want to still not follow. So here's one of those things like pilots. Think about it this way. If you were to bomb bridges, if you were to bomb power plants, if we were to bomb water reserves, those are war crimes. Per Protocol 1 of the Geneva Convention, those are all war crimes. Should those pilots who took the orders and dropped the bomb out of their plane onto those targets, should they be punished? I would say yes, because they are officers. They are all lieutenant colonels. They should know better, right? They know that those are war crimes and they are still committing them. Because if an enlisted soldier were to be caught committing war crimes on the ground in combat, they will put you in prison for the rest of your life. So why should it be different for the higher ranking echelon officers who should know better, right? So, yep. Hot Whisper says you could see that the guy trying to process in real time if Massie had actually heard that from somewhere. That's the funniest thing, right? You could see he was like, oh shit, who? Because he bailed, dude. He turns and basically runs. So I think he definitely hit a nerve. Thomas definitely hit, Massie definitely hit a nerve. Lindsey Graham is probably now plotting to break into Graham Plattner's house. Oh my God. This is so good, dude. If you don't remember the context of this, of Graham's statement, how he would R a home invader. This is oh my gosh, right, the guy. This was that was that's the best one of the night. That's the best one of the night so far. Well done, dude. Well done. Yeah, Katie was right behind it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Okay. Bobby says, break into my house. I'm going Pulp Fiction. We're going to wake up. Yeah, dude. Yeah. You picked the wrong house. You picked the wrong house. Thanks, Bobby. Low Profile Paul says, what if any of these politicians came out to say they decided to no longer take AIPAC donations? Some of them have, right? Thomas Massie has. He's wildly popular. Marjorie Taylor Greene, wildly popular. I know there's been a few Democrats, too, who have done the same thing, wildly popular. So I think you're going to see more and more and more politicians doing this heading into the midterms as they see sort of the writing on the wall, especially what just happened in New York, how every Zionist candidate got blown out by every anti-Zionist candidate in the recent elections in New York. I think they're going to see that and go, oh, shit, this might be a liability. But we'll see. God's country says 109 countries. How many chances do they get? Apparently, as many as they want, man. You know, as many as they want. Jasmine said AIPAC is a friend of the channel. Yeah. Yeah. They love us here. Thank you, Jasmine. Okay. Havoc says, hey, dude, crazy they are merging our military intel with our greatest ally. We talked about that earlier. Yep. Isn't that like treason? Should be. Yes. Keep up the good work, bro. America first. Recondo out. Yeah. Yes. Yes, it's treason. And every single congressman who votes yes on that should be held accountable for how you would hold treason accountable. I'm not going to say what that is on YouTube because I don't want my channel pulled down, but that's how I feel about that. If BB strikes Turkey, does that trigger Article 5? Yeah, well, yes, it would. If the United States was still part of NATO, right, Grand Bear? They're not going to do it while we're still a part of NATO, right? So if we're not a part of NATO, no, it won't. So that's the push to get us out of NATO. But it would otherwise, yes, as a defense treaty. As a defense treaty, it would, yes. Shuckles for bring the base to replace all the dumb Hasbro I've been getting in my YouTube shorts for the past couple days. That'll happen, man. You'll like randomly get a huge influx of that. I'll even get it sometimes, and I'll have to like re-scroll out my algorithm. Like, what the hell are you giving me this slop for? But it's because the money pushes it. The money pushes it. Did you hear anything about Humpty tearing down the West Wing? I missed part of the show tonight due to work. About turning down the West Wing? No, but I mean, at this point, he's turned the White House into a fucking trailer park, so I don't know. I mean, he's destroyed the entire interior of the White House as well. It's all plated in tacky fucking gold everywhere. So who knows at this point? Also, that's going to be wild because you know the next president that come in is going to remove all of that. I hope they tear down the ballroom. I hope the next president comes in and immediately the very first course of action is to tear down the ballroom and put in something cooler, something nice, just as a middle finger to Trump. Just the second they come in there, get the excavators in there and get rid of it. It's got to go. But again, there's a giant military bunker under the ballroom too. So we don't know if old Donnie is even going to leave. He might be down there in that bunker for the rest of his days, as far as we know. We'll have to wait and see. Don't need a girlfriend, not with our greatest ally and their dear leader by our side. Yes, you can just send all your money there instead of spending it on your wife or girlfriend. That's true. It's a great way to look at it, Fragile Wolf. Good point. Katie says, you think we'll ever get a proof of life? Yeah, Mitch McConnell. Or are they going to wheel him out on ventilators to vote? So, Katie, you beat me to it. The other comment. Yeah, he's been missing for what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks? Mitch is, the turtle is missing. But no, I think they'll probably wheel him in on a ventilator. I don't know. Or they'll get a Mitch McConnell mask on somebody and they'll send him in there. Okay, sorry, Uncle BB, but sometimes you say stuff we're not going to read on the show. Good try, buddy. Riley Guy says, why does our greatest ally want to attack Turkey? What would that gain or benefit from doing it? It would help the USA at all leaving NATO or war with Turkey. So this expands sort of into what you have to look at with the Greater Israel Project, right? And the idea that they believe everything from the Euphrates to the Nile, they deserve to have. And that brings them right up to the borders. Not quite, but it brings them very close to the borders of Turkey. Turkey and our greatest ally are enemies. to begin with. And so that's sort of where that clash is probably going to be coming right now. Keep in mind, I think you got to remember the Greater Israel Project spans everywhere from about half of Egypt all the way through Israel, through Lebanon, down through Syria. It's all of Jordan. It goes down into Saudi Arabia and all the way almost halfway through Iraq. It's massive, right? So those countries hate each other. And as they push their borders closer and closer to Turkey, that's going to become a problem, right? That's going to become a problem. So that's why. They found McConnell. He was locked in a casket at the mortuary showroom. They just wheeled him in a casket. Wouldn't be surprised at this point. Sally says, Nate the Great. This is a good picture of you with the camel here. Happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to you too. Here's the Patriots coming together. I used to be a Dem, now an independent. See, told you guys. Love your show and appreciate all you do. Thank you. Thank you, Sally. I appreciate you. And yeah, that's all of us here for the most part, Used to be. This is the home of the politically homeless, right? That's what we do here on the channel. So thank you. Thank you, Sally. Writer's block. And oh man, look at these kitties. This is what we need Munchkin and Mochi to be doing, is to just be lovers like that. Huh? Well, not lovers, they're sisters, but you know what I mean. Loving on each other. You should read the book, A General of Sociopaths, How the Baby Boomers Portrayed America. Ooh, this sounds like a good read. I'm actually going to write that down. Let's see. What was that again? General of Sociopaths. Sociopaths. There we go. Okay, I will actually look that up. That sounds like very, very interesting. Very, very interesting book. Probably a lot of good information on that. So, good call. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'll be on the lookout for that. Probably order it tonight. The American military won't kill Americans in the United States, but our greatest will. USS Liberty. Can't say that, right? Not allowed to say that. Not allowed to talk about that one. Although you are sort of allowed to talk about it now that Thomas Massie brought it to the floor of Congress. So that's kind of taken some of the dangerous stigma away from it. But yeah. Thank you. How do I say this? Kui Dad Jin? Kwai? $50 donation. Thank you. Very, very generous of you. Says, thanks for doing what you do. Much appreciated. May the Force. Oh, okay. I get it. It's a Star Wars. It's Kwai then, right? Kwai Dad Jin. May the Force be with you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Very, very generous of you. Okay, let's keep moving. Julie says, what time do the court proceedings start Monday? Thank you for, I believe 8 a.m. 8 a.m. No, wait. What time is it? 8 a.m. Mountain Time? 9 a.m. Mountain Time? It's either 8 or 9 a.m. Mountain Time, I believe, because it's in Utah, right? What time? I believe it's... chat, figure that out for me. I don't want to spend you guys, I got chat here with me. Chat will figure those things out. I believe it's 8 or 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Somebody get that for me in the chat. When's the pre-hearing? First day of the pre-hearing start? Chat, Google it for me, and let's get an answer for Julie here. I believe it's 8 or 9 a.m. Mountain Time, but correct me if I'm wrong. Genghis Khan, stop fucking. That's actually funny because what percent? It's like 2-3% of the world's population is known to be direct descendants of him. If we and our greatest ally merge, will the IDF get VA healthcare? Well, you don't have to worry about that, brother, because we already pay for the IDF soldiers' healthcare. And all the regular people, too. Did you know that? Did you know we already pay for their healthcare? You don't get it, but we pay for theirs. So don't worry about it. They already got it. And probably not the answer you were hoping for. But yeah, we already pay for it. So there you go. 99% sure mod can be delivered out of C-130. Don't think so. Google may say that, but that would be incorrect. It's too heavy. Didi says, worse, we've trained and gave them capability. True. GBU 43/B is 22,000 pounds, considering the earthquake boom boom and the grand slam. Hell yeah. Thank you, AJ. Ardway says, my kids, etc., are just fine. That comment was for the goofs trashing boomers on this thread. I'll put up a pic of the 40-year-old ginger Gen Z or Gen X. That's by my bed, pal. Well, you can do whatever you want, man. I'm just saying. Your comment sounded like you didn't like your kids. That's on you, dude. I guess don't comment stuff like that if you don't want us to think that you're a dickhead. I mean, sorry. You said you don't give a fuck what your kids and grandkids think. So I don't know. I was just going based off of what you said, man. Real American Nomad says Moabs are AC or C-130 30,000 MOP is from the B2 only. Maybe. Yeah, the mother of all bombs is B2 only. I don't think you can drop. That might be on Google, but that's probably incorrect, Tommy. That's probably incorrect. Might be listed there, but I don't think so. Should be only the B-52 and the B2. It can carry that much. Because you have to be able to carry it on the side of the frame, right? And you'd have to carry two. And I don't think an AC-130 could even take off. It might be listed that way on Google, but I don't think that's correct. I might be wrong, but as a JTAC, probably not. Bobby says, happy 250, Nate. Let's celebrate that milestone, then get to fixing this nation right away. They're giving us way too many boogeymen to be afraid of when them we need to be worried about. It's them we need to be worried about. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm all about it, man. 4th of July is my favorite holiday. I love America. You know, and it's so funny. You'll see MAGA try to say you're not a patriot or you're not patriotic if you don't support this president. You don't support the war in Iran. You don't support ICE. You're not a patriot. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. Supporting the government doesn't have anything to do with patriotism. It never has. So you can love this country and love America and love the people in this country and want things to be changed and be better at the same time. That's actually a thing you can do as a patriotic American. I know that's crazy for some people to think that you don't have to just blindly support what your government is doing, but it's a thing. It's a thing. I know. It's wild. It's wild. Blue-eyed hillbilly. Late. I know. But you always show up, and that's what I love about you. Thank you. And you said, sorry, we were packing and unpacking for camping. Well, that's fun. For the weekend, and 3 birthdays, my daughter today, my granddaughter, and the 3rd, the most greatest country in the world. Happy 4th, happy Independence Day to all. Thank you. And exactly what we were just talking about. Definitely. Nate, you look like a Mediterranean imperial. My hair's blonde, dude. I'm not from the Mediterranean. That said, I have one question to ask you. Stormcloaks or Empire? Probably Stormcloaks. Yeah, that would be mine. But yeah, no, yeah, look at my eyebrows, dude. My eyebrow, you can barely see my eyebrows. They're so blonde. Look at my beard. My beard is half blonde, bro. Mediterranean people have black hair typically. I appreciate it though. And I'm not tan enough to be Mediterranean. I'm not tan enough. I can get pretty tan though. So midterms, the Uniparty dumps Trump for Vance. We've talked about this on this exact thing on the show before, and gets all their AI shill bypassing this. This is exactly what we talked about on our show, bypassing the RNC for 2028. This is almost like you just heard me regurgitate this, but not saying that you didn't have this idea in yourself. A lot of people are thinking that this is going to happen, but yeah, I think there's a high likelihood that that's going to happen. I think he's the guy for it. C-130 capacity is 42,000 pounds, so should be able to deploy Moab. Pretty sure that's how we deployed in Afghanistan. Our greatest ally got C-130s. Maybe again, man. I don't think so. I know that's what Google says, but you'd have to carry 2. Would be sketchy. I don't know if you can even fit one on. They're giant, dude. Gigantic. Now, if C-17, you would probably be talking in the realm of possibility. AC-130, probably not. It might say that on Google, but no, I don't think so. Again, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, that's not true. Not correct. Now, again, who knows? But was that what we used in Afghanistan? I doubt it. I'm pretty sure it was a B-52. That's usually what we always put our big boy munitions on, is the B-52. Not even the B-2. Usually we use the B-52 for that, for the big bombs and the big bombing campaigns, which is always done by B-52. Free Our Republic says both parties are completely subverted. It doesn't actually. Oh, I didn't read this one. South Sioux City, Nebraska, all over the Midwest. Interesting. Both parties are completely subverted. It doesn't matter if they impeach Trump or not. Israel will get what they want, no matter what. Well, you're probably right. Taxes. Stallone Iron Dome. That's where they go, Brian. That's where they go. Is anything going to shift in the country after the midterms if the blue MAGA stays in power? Probably not, no. And don't Grace Valley Blues have to run for anything to change? Yes, correct. So the Chuck Schumers, the Hakeem Jeffries, the Cory Bookers. Hakeem Jeffries already announced, and minority leader of the House already announced, he will not seek impeachment of Donald Trump if Democrats take the House. He said it himself. So not very popular with Democrats. So to your point, no, if they maintain control of the party, I say this all the time, nothing will change. They're just a big, just as big of a problem. Oh, here we go. You fools cared more about liberal tears than accountability, and our tax dollars went to the richest among us. Progressives knew this would happen. All right. Okay. You got it. Bud says, Polymark gives 1 in 10 odds that Maxwell will get pardoned by the end of the year. I see it happening after the midterms. I think she'll get pardoned after the midterms. I've said that a bunch on my show. I think that's when it's going to happen. I think Maxwell will get pardoned after the midterms. Puppy Paws says, Ozzy's not a fan of our greatest ally because we go to jail for speaking about it. Or even wearing River to the Sea t-shirts. You ain't wrong. The government in Australia is not great. The people are great. But the government, yeah, they try to put their special operators in prison for made-up war crimes, all kinds of crazy shit you guys got going on over there. Kind of like our government. Your government fucking sucks, and the people are awesome. Just like our country. You know what I mean? Good day from Australia. Well, thank you. And if you guys don't know, obviously I'm a big fan of Australia. That's where I spent a decent amount of my time working with the Aussies. With the Aussie 2 Commando and SAS guys, man. Awesome. Some of my favorite guys to work with of anybody in the military. Paul says Moab was designed to drop from a C-30. Okay, well, there you go. I still don't think that's what we would use. But that would potentially give Israel the ability to, but also they don't have Moabs. So there's another one. We would still have to give them the bombs. So even if they could manage to slap it onto a AC-130, which that's not what we would use. We would use a B-52 if we were actually going to drop it. They don't have them. So we still would have had to give them to them for them to drop them, to my point being, would have been America. Would have been America. Hey, Nate, visited Italy last year, and there were some guys that looked like you. Okay. They're probably Europeans. You kind of look like Olympia Luco Dato, even in Sicily, which was Viking Norman history, had some natural blondes. I mean, if Italy's got some Scandinavian blonde people that are Italian, sure. But that's not what most Italians look like. Most Italians are olive-skinned with black hair. So that ain't Nate. That ain't Nate. I might have like a little bit, I don't know, Italian, but no. We're 3rd generation from Sweden on my mom's side. So my mom's, was that 3rd generation? Yeah, 3rd generation. Nate, where in Sweden do your relatives live? Well, they don't live there anymore because, again, it was I'm 3rd generation, so they've passed away by now. But the rest are all in America at this point. We might have some cousins or something like that there, but I don't know. I don't know at this point. All male TPUSA employees hiding outside Plattner's house with baklavas, waiting for the cover of darkness. Yes, very likely that as soon as Andrew Colvett and Blake Neff find out about this, they may try to storm Grant Plattner's house in the middle of the night. It turns out. Gold is value, but Donnie makes gold look cheap. Yeah. So you DM Insta about Mike issues /Peter. Okay, I'll look it up. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Beazle BB again. Not our greatest ally. Well, they're not an ally in general, by the way. I say that obviously satirically, but they're not an ally. And I don't say that because I don't think they're an ally. They are objectively not an ally. I say this all the time. All you got to do is type into Google, do the United States and Israel have any formal defense treaty of alliance? And you will find out, shockingly to a lot of Americans when they find this out, no, the United States and Israel are not allies at all. They're not even a part of NATO. Not allies. Not remotely allies. We pretend they are. We have a strategic partnership is what we call it. So there's that. IF Squadron 103 is C-130s. All right. Kangaroo Bot, what's up, brother? Says, big donation. Thank you, man. Says, sup, Nate? Not sure if you're a fan of the metal band Sepultura. I don't think, I don't think I've heard any of their stuff, but there's a song they released on their Chaos AD album called Territory, and the music video is very relevant in current times in regards to our greatest ally. Well, I do like metal, and I do like rock music. That's my favorite music, so let me write that down. Let's see. What is it? Sepultura? Okay. Got it. I will check it out because I do like rock music. Rock, punk rock. That's my two favorite genres of music. Where's LeBron going? I don't know, dude. I don't watch sports. So used to play them, but I don't watch them anymore outside of MMA. It's the only sport I really watch. It's the only sport I really do. So Hardway says, keep saying what you're saying, not what I'm saying. I don't blame the younger generation or the older. Good is good, bad is bad, regardless. You're talking about not alienating while you alienate. Okay, well, sorry if you don't like the fact that boomers own the majority of the wealth in the world and they have the complete systematic control of the government. So who the fuck would you want to see this? Who would you want to blame? Who do you want to blame? You don't want to blame the people in power. They have all the power and all the money, but it's not their fault. Let's not alienate people. Come on, dude. What are you talking about? Oh, fucking this gets frustrating. No, what's right? Let's blame Gen Alpha. Let's blame Gen Alpha. It's Gen Alpha's fault. It's Gen Alpha's fault that there's a housing crisis. It's Gen Alpha's fault that the economy is dog shit and that we're $40 trillion in debt. It's Gen Alpha's fault. You're right. He's right. It's Gen Alpha's fault. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I had the wrong generation. It's Gen Alpha's fault. There we go. We figured it out. Thank you. Got it. Yep. It's Gen Alpha's fault. Tracking. Good stuff, man. Sure, Jan says 9 a.m. Mountain Time for hearing. There we go. 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Okay, so there you go. So for the Charlie Kirk hearing, we're going to start right out the gate, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. So what is that? 8 a.m. Pacific, right? Which would be 11 a.m. Eastern. Is that correct? I think so. Not political. Nate, thoughts on Ja Morant to Portland? Again, I don't want Ja Morant's a basketball player, right? I don't watch basketball. To Portland, since you're in Oregon, I'm relieved he's out of Memphis. Good luck with him. Yeah, I don't watch basketball, homie, so I don't know. Isn't he? A little bit. I know a little bit about it, right? He's one of the problem childs, right? He's always causing problems for Memphis. He's always getting arrested. Like, isn't he like filming himself with guns on TikTok and shit? I don't know. I know a little bit about him. But yeah. All right. Mission Syndicate. Thank you. Rick Rasta says, hey brother, have you ever seen the Aussies do the bubbler? Love the show. If this is what I think it is, yes, probably. If by bubbler, you mean, okay, what I have seen the Aussies do, which shocked me to my core when I very first saw it, was the first night we went out drinking with the guys. We jumped out of the big Sprinter van we were in to head into it was a bar on base. It was like a bar on the Aussies got bars on their military bases, by the way. And we started heading to the bar, and one of the Aussie guys pulled his you-know-what out and aimed it at himself and started pissing in his own mouth. And everybody started laughing and cheering, and like it was a totally normal thing to do. So if that's what the bubbler is, I have seen that, which was I immediately realized, wow, the Aussies are even crazier than Green Berets. So yeah, I saw a lot crazier shit than that too. MC-130 can drop a single at Moab via drag shoot GPS guidance kit during the Vietnam War. USA dropped Daisy Cutter, 15 KLBs. What's a KLB? Bomb to crater jungles for LZ Helos. 52 can't carry a Moab. Too big. B-52 can carry like 13 nukes on it, bro. I think we got we're a little bit all over the place here tonight. Blame the globalists. We didn't have the tech in our time. You blame the globalists. Who do you think the globalists are? You think the globalists are Gen Z? Come on, dude. Come on. Happy 4th, Sergeant. Do you find that Humvee key? No, I've never found the Humvee key, Roy. I did have my team tell me to go ask my team sergeant for one time, but I did actually never find it. GB43 can be rolled out in the back of a there. Okay, see, this actually makes more sense, Bobby. This actually makes more sense. So this doesn't sound like an ideal way to do it, but this actually does make sense then. If you actually put it inside the hull of the plane, then I guess you could carry one, right? But the GB57 can only be delivered by the B2. I see the confusion. Yeah, that would make sense. That's not the typical way you would want to deploy a bomb, especially when we have platforms that can actually carry it correctly, but that does make sense. This would be like a worst case scenario type of option you would want to do it with. AC-130 typically is not what you want to load to the brim and try to fly it into enemy territory. But this actually makes sense that you could fit it in the hole and then push it out. That's pushing that bomb out the back of a pushing that bomb out the back of it. That's wild, dude. That would be hilarious. Jesus, you duct tape that shit to the wing. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of anyone ever pushing a bomb out of the back of a AC-130, but apparently it could be done. So it sounds like it could be done. That doesn't sound like a smart way to do it. Also, what the crew with that thing, right? Oh, the crew with that thing would be absolutely insane. Watching the crew push that. It would be the entire size of the hole of an AC-130, right? An AC-130 is not that big. I could see you pushing it out of a C-17, but that's crazy if you could push it out the back. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that. There we go. I learned something today. Good job. This, yeah, if Bobby finally explained in the way that could be done. I was trying to think you were telling me they could strap that to the wing of an AC-130, which is just not going to happen. But this could be done, right? I don't see a scenario where they're having fucking a flight crew try to shove that thing out of the back of an AC-130 operationally. But maybe if it was our greatest ally and it's the only choice they had, that could make sense. You would typically want to drop it out of a B2, especially because you want to use a stealth fighter, right? If you're going to try to drop a bomb like that operationally, you're going to want to use a next-gen stealth fighter to do it so you don't get your fucking AC-130 shot down. So that's why the big bombing campaigns are done either by B2s or B-52s. But B2s mainly because they are stealth bombers. Last time you ate, no, I don't even know what that is, but it sounds disgusting. If that's something Scandinavian, I don't know, dude. I've never been to Sweden, unfortunately. My family all has, but I am the one person that hasn't got to go yet. So no, I don't know anything. We don't have anybody making traditional meals in our house. Did you get the ragdoll? No, we got a Scottish fold. Little baby. The thing that's now coming to fruition has been going on for more than 100 years. We were warned by TR and WW, but it's the boomers. How silly. Okay, yeah. I mean, you're pushing this real hard. It's you believe whatever you want to believe. It's Gen Z. Gen Z is hoarding all the wealth. The Gen Z globalists. Okay. When will the boomer hate speech laws start in Congress? Well, considering Congress is what, fucking 80%, it's probably coming. It's probably coming pretty soon. Your opinion on Eric Trump betting on the UFC White House card? So we talked about this on the show. He claims it was fake. It was fake. It never happened. He never did that. Although, or what was it? No, Daniel Cormier's Twitter got hacked for like 8 seconds. It got hacked, and they just happened to hack it and then send a direct message, and then to Daniel Cormier, and then post the direct messages, and then they were immediately deleted. So that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. If you're Eric Trump, holy shit! Oh my god! Wow! Look at that. That's crazy. That is crazy. 200 of our congressmen 200 of our congressmen are part of the generation that are past retirement. What the fuck is that? That is so crazy. Oh my God. Good. Oh, wow. Wow. See ya later, dork. Oh no, Nate's mean. Nate's mean. I'm out of here. Deuces. Go watch Bluey, dude. You'll be fine. All right. Beef 2 has payload, but not the volume, and bomb bay isn't big enough for a Moab. AC-130 carries a bomb, but smaller ones. Oh, okay. They carry a smaller version of it. Okay, there you go. All right. There we go. We're working our way through it. So the AC-130 Juliet can carry a smaller version of it. All right. All right. We did it. We sort of figured it out. It carries us the AC-130 carries a smaller version of the bomb. All right. Got it. Tracking. So, but if we want the reality of how will an actual Moab get dropped, it's going to get dropped out of a B-2 because it's a stealth bomber, and that's where we drop all of our big boys out of. Which is why when we did the 12-day war and we dropped all of the what is it? Father of all bombs. The 30,000 pounders, they were all dropped out of B-2s. Because, again, you don't want to get your aircraft shot down, especially when you're carrying something that heavy. You can't fly very fast and you can't fly that high. So we finally did it. But yeah, B-2. They don't have any B-2s yet, as far as I know. Our greatest ally doesn't have any B-2s yet, as far as I know. However, I believe there was legislation that was trying to give them some, I believe. That was back in June. I believe. We were discussing legislation to try to give them some, but I think there was so much backlash on it that I don't believe that went through. I hope to God that didn't go through. Oh, my God. If we would have given our greatest ally... yeah. And this is correct to Roy's point. Yep. You just get shot down immediately. So that's also why it's not going to be an AC-130, right? AC-130 is just going to get shot down. But anyway, yeah, to be B-2s. Also, at the same time, we would have had to given those munitions. Yeah, okay, here it was. They wanted to, yeah, I know. I remember the saying they wanted to give them, but that's the way it goes. All right. Am I looks maxing? No, I don't. Well, I don't think so. I mean, I work out a lot and I train all the time. So I guess that's look maxing. I don't do anything to my face, though. I don't have any plastic surgery or anything like that. I guess I am getting a hair transplant. So I guess I'm getting that in August. That's a about a little over a month away. And yeah, I guess I think that's just like what normal thing for 40-year-old dudes to do. But what's looks maxing? So looks maxing is the Gen Z kids is it's like everything you do, they do like the bone smashing, right? They like hit themselves in the face with hammers and stuff to fracture their bone to make their cheeks and jaws more defined. And what else do they do? What's the clavicular, right? He's the big looks maxer. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah. But I don't know. What else do they do? They do meth. What else do they do for looks maxing besides the bone smashing? Plastic surgery, I guess. Right? I don't know. Whatever clavicular does, that's what looks maxing is. But no, I don't know. I work out all the time and I train all the time, and I'm 40-year-old dude, man. There's not much left for me to look max on. You know what I mean? That's like a 20-year-old dude thing, I think, right? I think all of us dudes that are in our 40s don't really give a shit. Calf implants are considered looks maxing. Well, I'm not getting calf implants. Somebody said you look just like Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, right, dude. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm nowhere near as good looking as Leonardo DiCaprio is. Big boys are not wing-mounted munitions on any platform. Well, yeah, I mean, a B-52 doesn't drop anything out of the wings. It's all in an internal hangar, right? So, and so is B-2 for the most part. Sarnt has a hairline of General Nate. Yeah, at the moment. Yeah, he got his nose done. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm not. Are you guys who here is looks maxing? Right? We got some looks maxers. Mewing. Oh, what's mewing? I've heard of this thing. Right? Is this something with their jaw? Do they like chew on shit? Right? Isn't that something they do? They chew on shit to try to make their jaw more defined. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Sorry. I should know better. I do know a little bit about the Gen Z world because I have Gen Z kids. So I am tracking, like, I know what mogging is and looks maxing. What are some other ones? I don't know. I know some of the skibbity toilet riz vocabulary because again, I've got Gen Z kids, but yeah. Just put up a 25-foot flagpole with an American flag and a VFT American first flag. That's badass. Anywhere I can send a pic. Yes, send it to my Instagram or my email. All right, or my email. Instagram's better though because I'll be able to just grab it immediately. So it's just Valhalla VFT on Instagram if you're not already following me. Hell yeah, absolutely, man. That's badass. But oh, is this here you go. Stan again, this is a 23-year-old dude. Excuse me, just gotta go to the gym and try to be a better person each day. Yeah, this is what we always did when we were that age. Being so self-absorbed in your looks, as to me, is just gay. Yeah, also, as a dude, like, for one thing, being physically fit as a man, of course, like, that's what, most men typically strive to be. And I think, regardless of how, like, physically attractive you are as a man, if you're in, like, crazy good shape, people are going to typically find you pretty attractive, right? Like the whole thing with like getting your face done and reconstructed as a man to be like prettier. I don't know. Maybe it's just my generation, but like we don't really care about being like pretty, like men being pretty, right? Like, I don't know about, what about to the ladies in the chat? Are you concerned with a man being pretty, or would you rather him like be masculine? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's what Gen Z's into, but usually most women I know aren't like, I really like a pretty guy, So, well, maybe. I mean, nothing against the pretty guys out there, but typically most men aren't like pretty anyway. But Katie says that's a red flag. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's probably a little bit of a red flag, especially like for women, for ladies, to the ladies in the chat. Because again, I'm not a lady. Wouldn't you guys think it's kind of weird if the guy you were dating was like more concerned with his looks than you are, right? He's like constantly doing all this crazy shit to be as pretty as possible. Wouldn't you kind of be like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Like it's kind of like you're in a competition with your boyfriend, It's just kind of it seems like it a little. And again, I'm not passing judgment on the dudes out here, man. Right? If you want to be a pretty dude, hey. All for it, right? But I don't know. That's not really what my generation was ever concerned with, Missing the point. They could copycat a Moab and drop it from a C-130 and drop it in Lebanon, no interference. Yeah, maybe. If we gave them the technology for it, right? Which, or they stole the technology for it. You might be right. That's fair. They do have a track record of stealing technology out of munitions that they can drop. So you would not be wrong there. You would not be wrong there. They do have a penchant for doing exactly that. Joe says, after smashing my face with a hammer, I now have a chiseled face, but my body is built like a pencil. Yeah, that's part of the problem. Bobby says, you've lost plenty of weight, man, making me reevaluate my whiskey diet. Keep crushing it, man. Yeah, Bobby, I lost, let's see, about 25 pounds just from quitting drinking. Didn't change my diet, didn't change my exercise. I mean, I exercise a lot already, But yeah, just taking alcohol, and Bobby, you're probably like me. You like a glass of whiskey pretty much every night, right? That's how I used to be, glass or two. I was never a drinker to get drunk, right? But I like to have a glass. You guys know, I used to always drink on the show. But yeah, since I quit drinking, I've dropped. I was about 260, and then I dropped down to about 235 right now. I think about 235 pounds right now. So yeah, just cutting out the booze, It's been amazing. So that's been an awesome decision. Yeah. So every once in a while, I'll have a drink, right? If I'm out to dinner, or I'm at like 4th of July, I'm definitely gonna have some drinks. I'm not like hardlining. I don't drink anymore, but like I'm not doing it every day anymore. Because I drank every day for like how long? I don't know. It's like 15 years. Not a lot, right? Just like to have a glass of whiskey at the end of the day after work, or a couple beers after work, like everybody does. But yeah, just cutting that out. And also my sleep, improves your sleep, and alcohol does lower testosterone, all those things. So I would highly suggest it if you're considering. The only reason I did it is because Aaron Love, you guys know Aaron Love, friend of the show, one of my buddies. He is fucking shredded, dude. Shredded. And, it's always a competition between guys. And I was like, God damn, Aaron's fucking way more shredded than me. And I would like talk to him, and he was like, dude, I quit drinking like 9 months ago. And so I was like, okay, well, competition. Now I gotta get as lean as possible. So that's what got me into it, was just just competition with the buddies. And yes, I do this at night before I go to bed instead of the whiskey. So I just swapped. Yeah, actual friend of the show, Aaron Love, one of our good homies. I feel like it's the opposite, right? It actually kind of like boosts my appetite a little bit. But speaking of which, it's almost 9 o'clock. I got to get in and eat dinner. I think my wife barbecued chicken tonight, so looking forward to that. At least I hope so. So we're gonna wrap it up here. What's that? Yeah, that's Aaron. Aaron Love is who I'm talking about. He was an Air Force PJ. Last one, another DSA unseats. Oh, we just lost the light, so we know it's time. Another DSA unseats a 30+ year blue MAGA Democrat in Colorado. This is happening over and over and over again. I hope America First starts unseating their welfare state funders like Mitch McConnell. I hope so too. No, especially. That's how I say it. That's how I've always said it. Don't give a shit. And I'll never stop saying it that way. Especially. Infrastructure. Especially. That's how I like to say it. If you don't like it, that's too bad. Too bad. I like it. So that's how I say it. People get frustrated. I'm like, I don't care. That's the way I like to say it. So I say it that way. You think I haven't had people say that before? No, I'll never change. Never change. Especially because that's the way I like to say especially. But anyway, bro, you're pretty. Yeah, right. Not quite. Maybe when I was 20. Not anymore. Maybe once I have hair. Maybe once I got all my hair back. All right, but anyway, guys, we gotta jet out of here. But yes, hey, keep in mind, because this is coming up. Or wait, do we have the Friday show? I think we have the Friday show before the Charlie Kirk trial starts, right? Let me check the dates here. Yeah, okay, so Friday's the 3rd, so we'll talk about it again on Friday. We'll have a regular scheduled show Friday. Maybe I'll try to get some guests on. It's fun to have Friday shows. Fun to have guests. So let me reach out to some buddies and see if anybody wants to come on and do a show. And then the following week will be all week, Monday through Friday. We'll be streaming 8 hours a day. It's gonna be rough, boys and girls, but it'll be good too, because that's gonna be wild. All right, so yeah, we'll see about. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna bring Mochi in yet. Oh no, this is from my wife. So I saw the comment and said, I thought it said bring in Mochi Friday, but since my wife just said we're bringing in Mochi on Friday, there you go. So Friday, thanks to my wife letting us know that we will be bringing Mochi in, the baby kitty. She will be doing the reveal on Friday's stream as well. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. We'll show little Mochi off on the show Friday. Okay, so that's going to do it for this one, guys. I'm going to head inside. Thank you all so much, and I will catch you all back here on Friday evening. All right, have a good one, everybody.